T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Yes. What's going on, people? It's your boy, man, like Matt. You know what time it is. Team Kop-Ish. It is Monday Night Live, people. Are you ready? Unfortunately, Callum won't be able to make it today, but he will be back, and Drifty will be with me shortly. But everyone's having a blessed Monday, you know what I mean? Start of the weekend. I hope everyone's doing good. Let me read through a couple of the comments in that before we get into the show. We'll wait for Drift. 1, 2, 3 says Guinea out of AFCON. Yeah, do you know what? I didn't even realize Naby Keita was suspended for the game. Pissed. Can't believe it. Public Sector Direct says good evening. Good evening to you, bro. Nicky B, VVD isn't looking too good recently. Seems a bit arrogant in his play and way too relaxed at times. Or is it just the fact of he was always like that, but maybe him not being in the greatest of form? We're overlooking at it, maybe? I don't know. Big up Lakers as well. Big up Lakers. He's like, don't always get to what you love, but always catch up next day. Keep up the great work and drop a like, guys. Indeed, people, if you haven't already, but I'm gonna tell you, come on, people, smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes, people. That's the entry fee. Just smash the like button. You know what I mean? Show the love and support like you always do. You know what I'm saying? Senegal, Egypt for the World Cup qualifier, says Nicky B. Yeah, I saw that. Mane versus Salah. One of them ain't making it, you know. That is peak. I can't even lie. Yeah, Naby was Ali A says Naby was suspended. He was, and I can't even remember what he was suspended for. Was it because he was arguing with a ref or something like that? Some foolishness. Fuming. Zabiri says another show from the G's. Them keep up the good work. Oh, Zabiri, my guy, love my bro. You know what I'm saying? What's this? Yes. League and Champs double. We'll have to wait and see, Nash. We'll have to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? We'll wait and see about that.
People.
What's going on? Kevin Sullivan. All right, Matt. Yes, what's going on, Kev? What's going on, my bro? Pabs and Grill says Naby Ting's incoming. Yeah, he's on his way home. You know what I'm saying? I paid for the jet and that, so my man will be on his way home shortly. He missed the game, as I said before. He was suspended, so you know what I mean? Naby, just make sure you pay him back there, yeah? All right, safe, fam. Mark A says Klopp still won't play Naby, Matt. Yeah. Do you know what? I think we have to be real. Naby Keita hasn't been injured during the whole of AFCON, yeah? Some of the challenges have been violent. And you're telling me this guy can't play in the Prem? Yeah, let's wait and see what Klopp does with Naby Keita. That's going to be very, very interesting. Big up John Moore. Says, big up, Matt. Hope you're well. Fixing my membership banking problems. Apologies. No. That's cool, bro. Do what you got to do, man. No worries about that, my bro. No need to apologize. You just do your thing, bro. It's calm. G-Man says, Machu. In the Desmond's voice. Big up.
Machu.
Trust me. Oh, yeah. This is true, actually. Amzi says they will all be back after the break. Yeah. Well, obviously, we'll touch on that as well, because that's going to kind of segue into the first topic, funny enough, actually. Last but not least, oh shoot, I shouldn't have brought that up. Drift, have you seen UFC? You've seen it though, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, because if you didn't see it, that was the biggest howler. You wouldn't have been able to avoid it anyway. So But
I
no,
would
big
have
up
been very
Ngannou in there.
upset with you, yes, but I made sure. I'm not even gonna lie.
Fam,
What are you saying? What are you saying? The most dangerous man in the world's got ground game now.
bro. Bruv, he smothered him. I'm not like he actually smothered my man. The guy that's supposed to be known for like takedowns and all that and being more technical, bruv. Ngannou with 2 bad knees.
Bruv, he said he tore his ACL 3 weeks ago. How's that even possible?
I think he meant MCL because I'm not gonna lie, fam. If you tear your ACL, you ain't walking. I think he meant MCL though.
Bruv, I don't even
But
care.
even
If
still,
I don't even care if it was
but
his
even
MCL.
still,
I don't
yeah,
even
I
care if
know.
it's MCL, bruv. I've stubbed my toe and I've been out for a week, bro.
Bruv, I hear you. No, it's actually mad. It's actually mad. JJ36 says big up at Team Kopish, man like Matt and Drift. Big up yourself, Jay. Big up. Yeah, and Annie, he says Francis Nurmagomedov was moving crazy. Trust me, bro. Francis is different. But
Yeah,
people,
I know DC was commentating thinking, yeah, I'm glad I retired.
I'm glad I got out while I could. Like,
yeah,
do you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
glad I retired.
Because I'm not gonna lie, no one don't want to fight Francis, fam. It's absolutely peak. But boy, let's get this show off the road. We've got a few topics to get through. In fact, I'll go through the topics now. We're going to be speaking about how Liverpool are done during AFCON. We're going to be speaking about some transfers, Liverpool's game management, and some more transfers as well. So we have a few things to chop up. And rightly so, let's get straight into it, people. As you can see from the headline, Liverpool survive without AFCON players. There was much made about Liverpool losing our players, obviously, to AFCON, Mohamed Salah, Mane, and Naby Keita, and whether Liverpool will be able to survive. Drift, I'm going to remind you of the fixtures and what happened when they left. So their last game that Mane and Salah played was the Chelsea 2-2. Then obviously we played Shrewsbury, beat them 4-1. We drew Arsenal, obviously 0-0 in the first leg of the Carabao Cup. Then we beat Brentford 3-0. Then we beat Arsenal 2-0. And then obviously yesterday we beat Palace 3-1. Before we get back to when they come back, bro, are you actually surprised at how we've negated all of those games and done exceptionally well?
On paper, those games were meant to be navigated. So on paper, you'd look at that and go, well, why are you going to give Liverpool any praise? They did what they're meant to do. But if you take reality into context, I think we did brilliantly to navigate through those games, bro. Like, real talk. Like, the only bad game was the 0-0 draw at home to Arsenal, but it didn't matter because it was a 2-legged tie, so we was able to rectify.
Yeah, we could get away with that one.
Yeah, so I think we did brilliantly, bro. Like, people could say they were easy games, but let's be real. Crystal Palace away isn't an easy game. You got to be on your game to beat Crystal Palace. If you go Selhurst Park and have an off day, then they'll probably take points off you. And Arsenal away was not an easy game. We made it look easy because we're a good team. Arsenal away is not an easy game. Man City went away to Arsenal and just about won in a 2-1 victory. And I think Arsenal have beaten, in the last couple of years, Arsenal have beaten pretty much all the big teams bar maybe City at home. I'm sure they've beaten Chelsea at home. I'm sure they've beaten Man U at home. Like, at home, they're a good team. So it looks easy on paper, but it's not if you put reality into it. So I'm chuffed with the fact. But I didn't think we'd win a game in January. I really didn't. Bro, we looked so gun shy against Arsenal in the first leg. I thought, how are we going to win any of these games? And Jota stepped up.
Bro, he had to. And here's the thing. So, listen, it's been widely reported. Not even widely reported. Like, people just saying, Liverpool, it's Salah FC, it's Mane FC. All these type of things that we had these, these drives at before they left to go AFCON, yeah? Bro, I'm not going to lie. Yes, the games might not necessarily been the hardest games in the world. But as you said, they're still difficult opponents. Like, you see the Brentford game, for example. Yeah, you're expected to beat Brentford. But at the same time, a Brentford that could maybe park the bus, but also be adventurous at the same time could cause trouble. And when you haven't got a Mane and Salah, people always look to them as like, especially Salah, more so this season, the talisman. And when you're missing your talisman, bro, you kind of can't take away what Liverpool have done. You can't forget, like, bro, we imagine this year. We've scored 3 goals against Brentford and 3 goals against Palace in the Prem. And that's without Mane and Salah. That is very impressive, bro. Even Fabinho coming in clutch as well. I know Fabinho. What game was it, Drift, where Fabinho got on the score sheet twice? Was that Shrewsbury, I think? Was that Shrewsbury, innit? I think. It might have been Shrewsbury.
Yeah,
I
he scored
think
the
so.
penalty in the header, right?
Yeah. I think it was Shrewsbury. But even him, like, do you know what I mean? And his penalties have had to be, they've been sensational. I can't even lie, bro. There's even a conversation now. Does Fabinho start to take our penalties? Because remember, at Monaco, he was very sick, bro. If I'm not mistaken, at Monaco, I don't even think he missed one, you know? Don't think
I
he missed
don't think
one.
he did. I
Do you know what
don't
I'm
think he
saying?
did. Yeah.
So for me, you kind of have to give us ratings, and you have to give Klopp ratings because he's had to really utilize his squad, and he's had to. Yeah, it was Shrewsbury. Now, big up the people are saying Shrewsbury. Yeah, it was Shrewsbury. You have to give Klopp ratings because even though he was kind of forced to play those players, he also had to give them the confidence to go out and perform. Because it's okay saying, all right, cool, I've got Taki Minamino and I've got whoever, maybe, yeah, Curtis Jones, so to speak. But if they're not on form and they haven't been playing, so to speak, you got to give them the confidence to go out there and do their thing. And that's what I felt like he did, bro. Like, we can't take away the job that Klopp has done, to be fair. Down to his bare bones. Remember, we lost Divock Origi for the whole of AFCON, bro. For the whole of AFCON, we've lost Divock Origi. We've had no Thiago either. So obviously that had nothing to do with AFCON. So Klopp's had to negate, think about players that got injured and bringing players in that might be low on confidence, tack him in the Minos and get them firing, bro.
The wickedest thing is as well, bro, is the whole, like, as you just touched on, Origi, yeah? No Divock for this whole month not only made it more difficult to navigate the month, but it also must be so frustrating for him himself because it was the time when he was probably going to play every week.
Yeah.
And to be injured during the only time you're probably guaranteed game time has got to be so frustrating for him, bro.
Agreed.
Like, and brother, and even from a Liverpool point of view, of we know that we're not keeping him, which I block out because it winds me up.
Yeah, like, we're not keeping. I don't think we're keeping him, bro.
At least we would have actually got something out of him as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I'm massively disappointed that Origi wasn't able to take part in this little period of time, man. Massively disappointed, bro. But
no, I hear that. We have to move. And listen, I think Klopp did say he should be back after. Actually, do you know what? He might be returning as well. So let's just quickly change our attention to the returning guys, right? Mane, Salah, Naby Keita. We already know one of them out of the 3 is automatically going to start no matter what. That's Mohamed Salah, right? You know he's going to start no matter what, yeah? And rightly so, bro. Like, rightly so. Let me ask you this, though. Because Jota has been on form as of late, is there an argument that Mane has to work his way back into the team? Or for you, does he start straight away? So I want you to give your opinion, but I also want you to give what do you think Klopp's going to do as well.
Well, first of all, if you ask everybody who was in the chat on Sunday, Jota isn't in form and he don't offer anything unless he's putting a ball in there.
Yeah, but the Arsenal game, remember the Arsenal game he done? Remember the Arsenal game?
No, I don't believe that. I'm saying that's what the chat was saying. Remember, they were saying if he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything.
No, I don't agree with that. I think sometimes he can be that guy though. Sometimes he can be if you don't score, fam, it's like, what are you doing? Because you're just glitching all the time. It's like, do you need to change the batteries again?
You know what? We got a couple players in our team that I like this year. I don't know if you agree with me. Matip, Hendo, Jota, and there was one other guy I was thinking about. I can't remember who it was. If he comes to me, where I feel like when they're on it, they're spectacular. But if they're not on it, they have bad games. Like there's no grey area. They don't seem to be able to do the 6 and the 7s. They're either 9s or they're 4s. It's really weird. I don't know if you know. It's like Matip is either bad or he's spectacular.
He's normally spectacular, to be fair, man.
Bad or he's spectacular.
He's very, few and far between.
Jota goes in that category for me, bro. Like he's either bad, like yesterday, or he's just spectacular, like he was against Arsenal. Like he doesn't really have a middle area. He's not like a James Milner that just gives you 6 and 7s all the time, just gives you that down the middle kind of thingy. So I don't mind him having a couple 4s if he's dropping 8s and 9s all the time. Like who cares, bro?
No, fair enough. Well, here's the thing. Again, because I don't know whether you asked the question directly. Who are you starting when Mane comes back, bro? Are you starting Mane or are you starting Jota?
Yeah. I'll put Jota back down the middle, and
Would
I'll
you?
put
Okay, so you would drop. Okay, so you would drop Bobby then.
No, I'll drop Bobby back into midfield. I think it's time to start like blending him into a midfielder now. For me, and I think the fact that we don't have an attacking midfielder is begging for that to be the role we adapt Firmino to. For me, because if we're not going to buy one, which we know we won't, we've got a player in the team that can do it. Because look, for example, the first
Harvey Elliott will be able to do. Harvey Elliott might be able to link the midfield in the attack.
Yeah. Harvey can.
Obviously, again, it's because he shows obviously signs of it, but again, we've got to wait for him to kind of even pick up fitness anyway before we can even have those conversations where we're talking about him.
Let me tell you, for you guys who like the techie ballers and don't like your captain, because there's a lot of you out here that don't like your captain. Imagine a midfield. Imagine a midfield of Fabinho, Thiago, and Firmino. Salsa samba everywhere, bro.
Can't lie. That does sound interesting.
Everywhere, bro.
That does sound interesting. The four,
you see the goal was good against Arsenal, bro. Yeah. Who started that? Bobby backflip.
Yeah, it was.
You see, if he's in midfield, bro, he'll be doing stuff like that all the time, but he don't have to bust a gut because he's not the striker. So he doesn't have to bust a gut to get in the box as well. He can hang around the edge of the box and wait for the scraps to drop, bro.
I hear you. Do you know
Firmino ain't capable?
No, he is. Do you know one thing I will say though? If we play a 3-man midfield, I feel like he might be a little bit wasted because he has this his tendency to defend so much here, it will be even more so now he's a midfielder. So, and that sounds silly, yeah, but like
better, bro, right?
No. But for me, I would have to do the 4-2-3-1. So even though he's going to drop back, he still needs to know that you need to be the link man. Because in a 3-man midfield, you can kind of get lost a bit, and especially if, like, I don't know, things aren't going well. You know, when people try it over hard and they start overcompensating. I don't want to see him do that. So I'm on your way.
I don't mind that, bro. I think
I just want to see
being honest.
The formation change, like what you said, if you said Fabinho, Thiago as the two holders and then Firmino in front, I'm all for it. I don't want to see him in a 3-man, like he's a Roman 8, like an Ox or a Naby, personally.
No, but he can do it, bro. He can play that genie role if we needed him to.
No, he's different because he's not, even though he's safe
not the defensive genie. I mean the genie that played with Henderson and Fabinho, where he was the left-sided 8 and he did box to box. Firmino can do that, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Firmino's just as good at tackling.
Yeah.
He's got the engine. He won't have to worry about getting in the box to score goals, so it'll take pressure off him. And his passing will improve the longer he does the role.
All right. You see, even though he's played well, Firmino, in a lot of the games that he's, been back, would you arguably say, though, if we're doing that, then he's going to look even more leggy because we might run him potentially into the ground in that type of role.
But I wouldn't play him every week.
It's a lot more running, isn't it? It's a lot more running.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't play him
ground,
every week. I wouldn't play him every week. You know when I play him in the games when we need sauce. But you see, if we're like away and we know that there might be a bit more running to do because we might be, say, away at the Etihad, for example. I know that's like the best example, like the hardest example, but see if like we're away at the Etihad, then I'm putting Hendo or Naby in there and I'm going more like not solid because it's not like but Firmino would be more the flair. So for me, I put Firmino in the midfield if we're away at Burnley, away at Palace, those type of games. But you see if we're like away at Etihad, away at Stamford Bridge, then I'm playing Bobby in there. So then I'm playing Naby or Hendo in there to be more rigid. Like I would want the midfield to be flexible. I want to be able to change things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
So that's what I would do anyway.
No, I hear you. I just think I understand where you're coming from. I just personally think if it's a 3-man midfield, I think the adaptation period might take a little bit of time. I don't know if he has the legs to do it. I'm not sure, but he can play that 10 role with his eyes closed because he's a natural 10. Like even from when he was at Hoffenheim, he was literally that 10-second striker. That is his game. And the false nine practically is a 10 because you're basically dropping into that half space. And then you've got the two wingers now become more central and they're ahead of you. So it's like, it's the triangle, but reversed, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that. Last but not least as well. What was I going to say as well? There's something else going to say. Not about Firmino, actually. It was about Naby Keita. Now, I'll wait for Drift to get back, people. But do you think Naby Keita should be starting when he gets back because he's kind of proved that he can play? So let me ask you like this first. Should Naby Keita be starting way more games? And should he be higher in our rotation? That's what I want to know, people. Then I'm going to ask Drift when he gets back. Because if I'm being honest, I think... That's right, bro. I think he should be. I'll repeat what I just said to the people, Drift, yeah? Moving on to Naby Keita now, the last person that's gone away with AFCON. Bro, do you think he should be starting way more games? Or do you feel like Klopp is kind of justified not to play him? For example, I'm going to talk about the Chelsea game where he was fit, ready to go AFCON, and Klopp just said, "No, I'm playing James Milner." Should he be playing more games, bro? Does he have a right to be annoyed? He's out of AFCON now. Obviously, he was suspended. Team didn't go through. Should we be seeing rotations where you see midfield three of Fabinho, Thiago, and Naby Keita? Naby Keita, Fabinho, and Henderson. Like, should he be playing more, bro?
Based off Henderson's form, Naby should be playing over Henderson at the moment. I agree with that. But here's the thing, though, bro. I'm trying to look at it from Klopp's point of view because I'm trying to figure out what it is with Klopp. And remember, we had a long conversation off camera, you, me, and Cal, and you was proper like vexed with how me and Cal was relaying the information you was giving us about Naby.
Yeah,
I was winding you up a little bit, to be honest. But
no, bro, we know this. When it comes to Naby Keita, I know you, man.
But for me, what I think it might be, bro, is when you rely on a player and he never lets you down, but there's somebody who that's better than the player you rely on, but he does let you down. I think you get to a point where you can't be bothered with the guy who's better because you just know he's letting you down every other game or whatever, whether it's through injury or performance. And I feel like that's why Klopp might have just got to his wit's end with Naby, where it's like, look, I know you're a baller, but I can't be asked with this. You're available, you're not available, you play a good game, you don't play a good game. Like, at least I know if I play a James Milner, I'm going to get a 6 or a 7 guaranteed. You ain't going to pull up a 10 and then a 4. And maybe he just gets annoyed at that because case in point, he brought Naby in for that Real Madrid game last season. And I know in his head, he thought, no, but I'm giving you it as an example. I know in his head, he thought Naby's going to move to Madrid and they're not going to be ready for it.
I hear you.
Because that's what we thought. And then Naby pulled out one of the worst away performances in Europe in Liverpool history. Got hooked at half time. And Klopp probably sat back after that and went, I thought I could trust you, man, but I just can't, can I?
All right, let me throw this back at you. I look at it slightly different. Yes, he had a but we had a stinker. Was that not Klopp's fault for playing him when you had a Thiago who was brought in for these type of games and you're playing a man who's just come back off an injury, but because you've seen him in training do well, you've gone, if he can do this in the game, then we've got something here. Because I feel like he kind of threw Keita under the bus a little bit, if I'm being genuinely honest. Because remember when we saw the lineup, what's the first thing I said to you? I said, bro, he's playing Naby ahead of Thiago. That don't make no sense. Like,
but remember, I said to you, sorry to cut you, bro. I did say to you when we had this argument off camera, though, for majority of Naby's career, bro, if you don't play him when he's just back off injury, you might not see him again. So his whole Liverpool career has been he's just back off injury.
You don't play him though, but and again, case in point, like even
but when do you play him then?
Even the Chelsea game, bro, like. Bruv, he's ready. He's going to AFCON. Do you know what I'm so mad? If Klopp wanted to be bad man, like I'm talking bad man, he could have gone, I'm going to play him. I don't really care. I don't have to do with Naby because he's going away to AFCON, right? I don't have to do with him. So if he picks up a knock, that's not on me. I'm his manager. I'm picking him. But if he gets injured, I ain't going to do it, man, because he's going there. And you know what I mean? If you want to do that. Bro, he picked James Milner. And it's like, he could have picked another midfielder. I'm just, obviously, because James Milner played. But let's say he picked someone else. It's like, bro, you've got to play the guy and give him a chance. Because it's like, We have a go at Naby Keita for being injured, and rightly so, yeah. Like if anyone that gets injured. But then when he puts on good performances, then gets dropped. And rightly so, like even Simicasses and whatever that happened, you think to yourself, like, Klopp, what's the plan here, bro? Like, you should be phasing out James Milner. He's 36 years old, bro. You can't like, and again, he's a lieutenant,
I think he's squeezing every bit of mini juice that he can, bro.
But hear what I'm saying. Like James Milner has been so reliable, and rightly so. You should be able to always call on James Milner. But at the same time, bro, you've got to have a plan where it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to try and phase man out. Like I've got to, because he's not going to be around most likely next season. But he's still picked James Milner.
But bro, here's the thing. This is how I feel like.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
I feel like maybe Klopp literally has a day where he feels raggo and then a day when he don't. And like, I reckon like his feelings just bounce around because let's keep it a buck. Away at Man United, is a very tricky game for Liverpool and has been a very tricky game for Klopp for the majority of his tenure as Liverpool manager. And he went with Naby away at Old Trafford. So he does trust him still to a degree because that game weren't that long ago, bro. And he brought Naby in and he played Naby and he let Naby have probably his best game in a Liverpool shirt.
And again, Naby got injured in that game, remember, by Paul Pogba's challenge, right? But then Naby was back. In fact, no, if I'm not mistaken, Naby was actually fit. Remember, I think he missed one game in the cup. Then Naby was fit for the Premier League game. Because remember when I think he did
but then he got re-injured in that game. Remember, he came on and came off.
Yes, you are right. You are right. No, he did.
And then he was out for a little while after that.
Yeah.
Bro.
So he's
but that was Pogba's fault because Pogba's a dickhead for that tackle.
Of course. All I'm going to say is this: as much as we love our manager, whether it's Naby Keita, Tsimikas, Jota, Mane, he does have his favourites, and rightly so. To a degree, you're going to have your favourites. That just happens in life, right? But sometimes you kind of have to think outside the box or not just go for the tried and tested. Because the tried and tested, yes, they've done it for you years gone by. But case in point, James Milner is at an age where you can trust him to a degree, but we should be making contingency plans to kind of ease man out where you only see man in a cup game with 2 minutes left. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be us Liverpool fans looking at the team sheet and seeing James Milner starting away at the bridge. I'm thinking, what? Bro, when we saw that lineup, we were like, what's going on here? You guys trying to say? We were
of course. So here's the thing as well, that just to give, maybe the people would disagree with me or agree with me or disagree with you or whatever, but I remember when we was having that conversation as well, Cal made a point where he said Fabinho's got more money in the bank than Naby. When we were talking about like how comes Fabinho can throw up a stinker and the next game will be straight back in and Naby maybe not. But what I will say is that not also true of the captain? Because a lot of people have got smoke for Hendo, always on a gun for Hendo. And at the moment, he's in bad form, so it's very easy to pick him out at the moment. But does Hendo not have credit in the bank? Does Milner not have credit in the bank? These players very rarely ever let you down. Very rarely. In fact, this is the first season where I can remember more than 1 or 2 bad performances from Hendo. Usually, he very rarely drops bad performances. So the Milner, Milner doesn't really have bad games, bro. So these men have got credit in the bank, do they not? Like,
in terms of over the years, you're right. But remember, here's the thing, we've got to kind of keep it to this season, because remember, that's when we talk about credit in the bank, I hear you, because credit in the bank is talking about what you've done other seasons, right? However, if your manager holds on to that for too long, bro, that's where the problems arise. Because he's thinking about Henderson, you've never let me down over the years, but this season you're not having a great season, or you're not having a great season. You've gone for a run of games where I need to take you out the starting lineup, but he's refusing not to because he's the captain, and that can be a hindrance. Because if you're not,
I don't agree with that, bro. Do you know why? Because do you remember 3 years ago when he dropped Henderson, and Henderson said it was the worst time of his Liverpool career under Klopp, and he was out for about 3 or 4 games, and he came back and scored against Sunderland, I think it was. I remember he said that he had a frank conversation with Klopp, and Klopp was like, look, I'm dropping you out. I don't think you're playing well. And then he said it made him work harder to prove himself, to get himself back in the team. Do you remember about 3 or 4 years ago? So Klopp will drop the captain if he feels to, bro. I think he don't have any options. And that's why he won't drop Henderson. Because if he had Genie still, or if he had a Basuma, I think by now Hendo would have been dropped. But with Naby away at AFCON and whatnot, but when was he meant to drop Hendo? Let's keep it real.
All right, all I'm going to say is I'm not trying to say every game necessarily, but if I'm not mistaken, there were games where Henderson wasn't playing that great, and we were saying he could have went with Fabinho, Ox, and there was somebody else. It might have even been Milner. I'm trying to think who it was. But basically, Ox was the one that was sacrificed. Because remember when we were saying Ox started to play well, and then he just dropped him for no reason. And to be fair,
but again, Ox is another one of those players that doesn't have the credit in the bank. This is what I'm saying. Subconsciously with Klopp, do you think when he looks at a Jones, when he looks at an Ox, when he looks at a Naby, when they don't have much credit in the bank, but then he looks at a Fabinho, he looks at a Henderson, he looks at a Milner, and they've got hella credit in the bank. Do you think he's like, my success at Liverpool, you've been a major part of, so I'm going to stick by you more than I'm going to stick by you?
But that's what he's doing.
And remember, we as fans, what we do, and even I do this. I'm not saying everybody does this. It's everyone, not just me. I'm part of this as well. We take the human side out of football too much because we don't know these people. When you work with man every day, if he's there for you and he helps you and you're with him every day,
I hear that, but we
turn around and then drop man or whatever because it's like they've got a personal relationship. Henderson and Klopp started to cry when they embraced.
I hear
it's more than football when it comes to certain people. We forget that, bro.
I hear you, but there's got to be times where your manager can't do the emotional thing. Because don't get me wrong, part of the reason why we love Klopp is because he's the emotional manager that we feel tied to. But yesterday, Sellers part, you know what Klopp did? Have you seen the footage? My man came out the team bus, dropped off some kind of beers to some fans in the crowd, and then went back on the bus. But what other manager's doing that? But that's what I'm saying, because he's that type of guy. However, when you do things like that, it can also go against you, like what you're saying now. Because even though he's got that bond with Henderson, and rightly so, bro, he's the captain, he's been there for man. Bro, if you're playing bad, man, I have to look at you and go, bro, listen, you're like my son, fam, but I need to drop you, fam. I need to drop you.
No, but that's what I'm saying. At what point
you're not playing that well?
But who is there to play instead of him?
No, there was a time. No, there was a time when but even that though, because
but then everyone would have been like, "Why have we got a 36-year-old playing in midfield?"
I don't think there was some. Am I missing someone? Because so Curtis Jones would have had the eye injury, right? He would have the eye injury.
Jones had the eye injury. Naby was injured.
When was Thiago? No, Thiago's been injured for time, innit?
Thiago was injured, bro. There was a point where there was no one else. There was actually a point, bro, where there was nobody else. He even played Minamino in midfield once.
Yeah, you might be right with this one. I can't even front because I'm just genuinely trying to think. There's me thinking there was another midfielder, but I don't think there is because when I think of the players, they weren't available. We've
looked at our bench hella times this season and thought there's no one on that bench.
But saying that though, Henderson's form was a bit patchy before, if I'm not mistaken, before the players went to AFCON though. Anyway, though. So when I say patchy, I'm talking like the 1 or 2 games where you're like, oh, bruv. Like, but here's the thing. If you have that one-off game where you play a bit bad.
Look, Morton. Bruv, that's the reason why Morton's played 6 times this season, bro.
Yeah, it's for real. But no, but again.
Has played 6 times
But again,
that's correct me
if I'm wrong, people in the chat, yeah? If I'm not mistaken, Henderson had a few games before AFCON where we were saying, right, should he like come out the team for a bit? Like, should we start someone else?
We went away to Everton. I mean, away to Spurs. And Morton had to start, bro. But our midfield has been a mad thing this season.
Let's say about that because Spurs are just not even, they're not doing nothing. And I can't even believe
we had an 18-year-old playing against Spurs, bro. That's how much our midfield has been all over the place this season, bro. So I'm just saying.
No, you got a point. You got a point. Don't get twisted.
Hendo would have been dropped by now. I don't think he's such a favourite of Klopp that he wouldn't have. If everybody in midfield was fit and Hendo was still playing the way he is, I do believe that Hendo would have been dropped by now. And the excuse that a lot of people give for other players, can the same not be said for Henderson? Maybe he is knackered, mentally or physically.
But 100%.
The guy plays all the time, bro.
But you know what it is? And this is what Jarmatt kind of says as well. And you have to kind of agree with him. What you're saying is so true. Because if he is knackered, bro, now will be the time to rest him. You see how we're getting players back now? Let's see if he does do that drift, because We've got Thiago coming back. Elliot will probably be back, I'd say, in about a month, maybe fit and firing, but we might see him in, like, obviously in the 2 weeks that we're back. And you've got Naby Keita coming back as well. So we've got 2 players, right? 2 players that are actually coming back, and they should be fit, hopefully, Naby Keita and Thiago. Bro, now would be the best time. And Jamrock kind of says as well that he doesn't utilize his squad enough at times. There are times when that favoritism just seeps in, and he will play the guy that he feels like is the most reliable guy when that guy actually might be off form. So I kind of agree with Jamrock on that one.
And do you want to know what? Yeah, the one thing I want to say as well, guys. Yeah, and you lot might think I'm doing it. I hate when we talk about a player that's one of my favorite players because people think I'm being biased. I'm genuinely not. I'm trying to take my bias out of this and just talk to you, man. We're all just Liverpool fans at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, of course.
If you take the captain out of the team, you lot have to remember you can be a good captain while performing badly, because leadership and what you're doing with the football are 2 different things. And stop always linking it to like a Stevie G that just did both so well that we just thought that was a normal thing. So don't get it twisted. When Hendo's on the pitch, even if he himself ain't having a bad game, his influence on other people is still there. And I think we take for granted influence because we've got a lot of influence. If you take influence out of the team, do you know how crap that team is? And I think a lot of Liverpool fans have taken for granted what Henderson does as a leader, what he does as a captain, what he means to the club and the other players. I think they do, bro. When they're just like, get rid of Hendo, dash him out, rare. Bro, they're forgetting he's captain and people look up to him. Go and look at when people join. Go and watch Harvey Elliott's interview when Harvey Elliott said,
I hear you. Don't get me wrong, but he's been instrumental
and took me round the place and made me feel at home. There's more to it than just being. So I think people get carried away with the kind of drop Hendo. I get it. If he's not performing well, I do get it. But being the captain does mean more. It does mean more. Whether you like it or not, it means more. And you know what? Sometimes it might mean you play in a game maybe you shouldn't have. But you know what? That's what happens when you're captain. It comes with the territory. So we can't get angry when the captain is playing.
Bro, I see what you're trying to do. You're basically trying to say if you got the armband, you can kind of get away with bad performances. But listen, no, I get what you're saying. All jokes aside, I know what you're saying. You're trying to say he's the captain. It's more than what he just does on the pitch. It's off the pitch. It's leadership. I get it. It's the whole package.
And even on the pitch, it's the organization and leadership. Even if he's having a bad game himself, his influence is still good on the other players. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
if we were losing 2-0 and Henderson was playing, even if he's having a bad game himself, he's still going to get the other players up for it. He's still going to be cheering everyone up.
See, this is where when I say, like what you were alluding to, bro, if his fatigue might not necessarily. He might think he's doing the right thing, but he's not. You know, like he might bark at someone or whatever, and you're rassing someone, but you're thinking, bro, Henderson, why are you even a guy? Like he might be thinking it's someone else's fault. It might be his own, bro. When you're mentally fatigued, that's when you make mistakes. That's why for me,
I agree.
That's where Klopp has to kind of look at it and go, I think he just needs a rest. Take him out for a couple of games, refresh him. We've got the squad to do it. That's where I'm coming from. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where
fatigued, I agree with that.
Yeah, because that's why I thought.
Then that means he's not going to be leading well. So I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
Do you know what I mean? So, but now we're going to move on to the next topic. But before that, we'll read through some supers. The special one, Mourinho says, still Salah key. Try playing Madrid without Salah. Laugh out loud. Yeah, of course, Salah's always going to be key, bro. Zabiri, Drifty, you're wrong for putting the chat under the bus. Trying to think what that was regarding. I think that was earlier on, Drift, when you said something about when the chat was going on about something, but I can't remember.
When I said that half of the chat was saying that if he doesn't score, Jota ain't worth nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting him under the bus, baby. They said it. I'm just relaying facts, bro. Like, because I was shocked.
Drifty just sent you all down the river. All right, I agree. Yeah. Paul says Firmino can't do it, but I'm worried at how he keeps losing the ball. He doesn't hold and protect the ball like Genie. It was hard to steal the away from Genie.
You couldn't get the ball off Genie. Genie's ball retention.
Yeah, steal the ball away from Genie. Yeah. Genie ball retention is serious, fam. Obviously, they're different players. The way what it is though, for Firmino, when he's on point, he's very good at ball retention. There's no denying that. But obviously, when things not working for him, he can misplace a pass and lose the ball very easily at the same time. So I understand where you're trying to come from.
Hold on.
You know.
I see Jamrock jumping in on it. Listen, guys, when we say things, yeah, and it's wrong, you lot make us pay for our crimes. So why did the chat not have to pay for their crimes as well? I ain't snitching on the chat. The chat needs to pay for it. You cannot say Jota don't do shit unless he's putting the ball in there and get away with it. You've got to pay for your crimes, bro. How many times have I been made to pay for my crimes and I've said something and everyone brings it up?
Of course, but what it is, the tapes are, once we say something,
how many people have snitched on me?
Live forever. The internet is undefeated.
The chat snitches on me all the time, bro.
No, same.
PR, it is what it is, bro.
PR says, you man forgetting Elliot. He starts most games with Fab and Thiago, and Keita rotates with Elliot, Curtis with Thiago, Henderson with Fab. Yeah, no. We ain't forgot about Harvey. We haven't. But you're right. Harvey will have a big part to play. I just didn't bring him up just yet because obviously we know that he's still trying to work his way back into fitness, so to speak. So give him a few weeks and he'll be there. What's it? Edward says, so you're saying we're in the basement, Drifty? Ha ha.
If you was one of the people that said that Jota don't do shit unless he's scoring a goal, you're in the basement tonight. That's so far from the truth.
Boy.
Although,
yeah.
I do agree that he's either amazing or he's poor. He doesn't have a middle ground. I agree
right
with
now
that.
He doesn't. Right now he needs to be a bit more consistent, so to speak.
So, bro, I'm just looking for a birthday shout out that
okay.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I found it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, save it for me. 975 Jamot says a number of players should be started more games. That is true, Jamot. That is true. Navigator. Ronaldinho Goat says Klopp not choosing Naby versus Chelsea cost us the league. Ooh, I want to go that far, but I would say it was critical. Seeing that midfield, it was critical. Ashley Greeley says, Drifty, I sent you the Pep interview on Twitter Sunday. You boys gotta be on that. It's classic Penge Crip way he goes by far. I think I saw a clip of that, I might see if I can get that still for you guys, maybe for Friday. Send me the video as well, bro. I'll see if I can get that on the thing for Friday. LL lads, hashtag FSG will get exposed when Klopp leaves. Big up yourself. Elliot, Keita, and Thiago back. Hendo needs a rest. I fully agree with that, bro. Henderson does need a rest. 975 Jump says you run your face into the ground with that mentality. So true, Jump, because again, like if you're not gonna rotate when needed, those players there, bro, burn out FC. We don't want to see it, but that's what we would turn into if we're not already. You know what I'm saying? Because look at Firmino before Jota come into the club, innit? Like Firmino, you can tell, like, should really be not looking as leggy, so to speak, how he is already, and he's only 30, 31. He should be doing that when he's like 33, maybe. But maybe I'm just overthinking about Bobby.
So I missed that. I heard the somebody. It was something about they sent me something or what did I miss there, bro?
Someone sent you an interview regarding Pep and about how he was cringe after the game. Well, I think they said, "Is that the best you played?" And he said, "By far," or something like that. Anyway, I need to send it to me, and we'll get that for the people on Friday or something. FSG are the real pagans. I am very concerned about our team. Hendo should be a squad player. Bobby needs to be replaced. It will be such an FSG move to give Salah a contract in the summer and no signings, transfer activity in shambles. You know what? FSG are the real peas. I will say, in terms of Bobby being replaced, are you talking about replaced out of Liverpool? You're just talking about out of the starting lineup? Because I think Bobby should always, but Bobby should still be a part of Liverpool, maybe not just starting all the time. Henderson, not squad player. Let's not do that. Let's just do a Man City where you just got players where you can rotate. So yes, you kind of have a squad player, but at the same time, kind of not. Man City seem to do it perfectly fine, and they've got egos to deal with just like ours. So why can't we do the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Pensioner Matt, drop the beat. I'm 82 today. Pensioner Matt, I'm not even doing that. You know what you did? I'm looking at your what you call it? You're the DP fam. Look what you've done to my face. You are disrespected, but save for the super chat, bro. And if you are 82 pensioner, Matt, enough love if you are. But I don't believe you. I'm just gonna keep it real. Nana says, drop the beat for my birthday, please, guys. Can't do a super chat because of where I live. Oi, see now, this is where we can drop the birthday beat because I believe you. Big up, big up, big up. Right, let's get on to the next topic, people. Let's see what is cooking here. In fact, I already know this one ain't gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna be much in this one. Right, as you know, Broke FC are always in the news. Us. And there's been more news today regarding Dennis Zakaria, who we were kind of linked with, but I think Fabrizio's kind of put an end to that. Fabrizio's come out and said Dennis Zakaria, Bayern and Dortmund are pushing. Man United had talks with his agent, but have not submitted any proposal. Liverpool won't sign him in January. Premier League move seems unlikely. Juventus want him, but Borussia asked for 7 million euros to sell in January. Drift.
Was that 5 million sterling or 5.5 mil sterling?
4.5, 5 mil. We knew we was never gonna get Dennis Zakaria, right?
Yeah, of course, we're not getting anyone, bro.
We know this, but can I just say something though? You know, even when Fabrizio was like Liverpool weren't gonna get him in January, so what he's gonna do? Wait for him to go on a free while everyone else is trying to get him for like 5 million euros. Like, Jeff, just say something about this, please, because I'm kind of sick and tired of us to seeing linked with players, and then we know we ain't getting no player, fam. I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest.
Bro, I'm more than sick of it, bro. All
right, let me ask you this actually. Without being negative, you know what? Let's do it because I'm acting like he's world class. He's not. But let me ask you this: is he good enough to be in our squad?
As a backup to Fabinho, yeah.
So if you crunch the numbers, I don't know, 5 million £5 maybe he's on a contract of about 70 grand or whatever, bro. For me, it's a no-brainer. And you know what's so mad about Dennis Zakaria? If I'm not mistaken, I believe Dennis Zakaria is about what? Is he 24? I think Dennis Zakaria.
Mid-20
now.
Mid-20. Yeah, I don't know exactly,
is. Hold on. Is oh, sorry, he's 25. Drift. He's 25. Yeah.
I knew he was mid-20s.
Yeah. He's 25 years of age, bro. Fam, even if we was to buy him for 5 million euros and it didn't work out, you could probably sell him for more than you bought him. Because say you get him on a 4-year deal, but he just didn't maybe settle, you could probably send him back to Germany, Italy. Do you know what I mean? And maybe get like 10 million for him.
Yeah, and like double your money.
Is that not an FSG type signing, in your opinion?
Yeah. And this is where maybe Jamrock slightly has a point that when do we have to start looking at Klopp? Because we do always point the finger at FSG. But bro, surely a manager of Klopp's clout and power could eventually get FSG to bend on a player if Klopp wanted the player at that price. So at what point do we have to point the finger at Klopp and go, bro, what are you playing at? What are you playing at? Why do you keep putting us in situations where we got players that are playing that shouldn't be playing and we're in trouble because you won't have a bigger squad because of whatever reason? Like, what are you telling me? Because I pose this question to you, bro. And this isn't me in any way, shape, or form saying that Klopp should go or anything like that. But I pose this question to you. If you did actually hear Klopp turn around and say, I don't want to stifle players like Kai Gordon and Tyler Morton and Connor Bradley, and therefore I will not be bringing in players just for the sake of it when I know I've got them waiting in the wings. If I said that to you and you knew that that was right back, right winger, and central midfield cover, our 18-year-old kids and 17-year-old kids in the youth team, would there not be a part of you that would feel like maybe Klopp's coming to that point of his career where he's not fit to be Liverpool manager. Like, I'm just saying, bro, because if you're telling me that you'd rather do that than go and buy a proper cover that will still continue to win you the league, you're doing an Arsene Wenger, bro. And I watched Arsenal moan about Wenger for 12 years before it finally ended, bro. So talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Like, let's just go with the premise that Klopp actually thinks, I want Conor Bradley, I want Tyler Morton, and I want Kai Gordon to be in the first team, and therefore I do not need to buy cover at right wing, DM, or right back.
I'm gonna be honest. If Klopp came out and said the things that you just said, there'd have to be a serious conversation about Klopp, because he's not. That means him, his thinking, and the fans' thinking it's just fully gone in it, because we can see the shortcomings in the squad. He will be able to see them. For him to kind of say that he's going to rely on the kids and the kids only, that would just be silly, because you're basically saying you've got to develop the kids, get them ready and get them up to speed and get them to the levels where you need them to be, and be at a level where players have been before them. So you're talking about a Genie, a Henderson, whoever. They've got to be at them type of levels there. That won't happen with those crop of players that all of them at one time. That's asking for too much. That's something where you'd have to look at Klopp and go, yeah, I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, we need to have a conversation about Klopp. We'd have to, bro. And again, no one's saying Dennis Ikara is a world beater. Some people might not rate him. There's probably people in the chat that don't rate him. There's people in the chat that might, but there's people in the chat that maybe do rate him. What I'm trying to say is, from an FSG perspective, how they look at, like, you know, players and trying to get them where their contracts are expiring, and they look at contracts that are on wages that could potentially be minimal and transfer fees. That is a type of signing they will go for. He kind of does fit the profile. So,
all right. So let me ask you this then, Matt. Let me flip it. Would you want owners that gave managers players the manager doesn't want just for the sake of a signing?
No, but I want my manager to be smart, Drift. And what you're, because you're doing the absolute like other way in it, and I understand that. But bro, let's be real. If Jurgen Klopp is sitting down saying to FSG, he don't need no players, like, you know, until the summer, we have a problem. We actually do.
Yeah, no, but
we actually have a problem.
That's why I asked you that question, because who are we pointing the finger at? Because someone like Abramovich, if there was a gaping hole at right wing or right back or whatever, no matter who's in charge, Abramovich will give the manager a player, say, shut your mouth, you're taking.
Yeah, because the funds are there. For us, it's very different.
And but we look at it as outsiders and go, well, there's clearly no harmony there. Man's getting a player forced on him. Look what happened when Mourinho was there and he forced Shevchenko on him.
But no one's saying for that to happen.
He don't want Shevchenko, and just because the owner wanted him, he forced it on him. So what I'm saying is, at what point are we trying to figure out just where the problem is, where the problem lies, who to point the finger at? Because what I believe is FSG are tight, and I'm starting to believe that Klopp is actually okay with a small squad, and that's why he's so perfect for FSG, because they don't want to spend money anyway. So if their manager's turning around and saying you don't want no one, they're like, hallelujah. That's how I'm looking at it. Because I've got to be real with you, bro. If the ownership was ambitious, even if the manager said he don't know one else, the owners would still be like, no, but clearly there's a problem there. Surely you want to fix that though, right?
Yeah.
And if they're leaving it solely in Klopp's hands, and Klopp is the one who is saying he don't want nobody else, then bro, I've got to be honest with you, we've got to have a conversation about our guy. Because I adore Klopp, but I cannot have a manager who's willing to let Mbappe and all these bad boys go to other teams, even when they're free, because he doesn't want to unsettle the squad, or he's okay with who we have. Yeah,
bro, I hear you.
And we get left behind, bro.
All right, do you know what I think? And I think this is for everybody. I genuinely feel like we'll be able to kind of maybe decipher that whole myth and rumor in the summer. Because here's the thing, guys, and this is not just you, this is everybody. We've got 5 players in it where their contracts will expire within 1 year. Yeah, when we get to the summer, it'll all be 2023. Bro, if we do not sign players, or I don't know, we sell them or we sell some, and you know the player we bring in is someone who you would just like not laugh at, but very underwhelming, then we might sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna be real. Is this Klopp? Because Klopp kind of knows the player that it's going to take, but this is maybe what he was given because of this was the money that we received from a Sadio Mane, for example, or a Bobby Firmino. We'll be able to kind of gauge it. So when you see player fees as well, so I'm just giving you an example, Drift, an example that you won't like. Let's say Sadio Mane doesn't agree a new deal. Sadio Mane gets sold for 50 million to PSG. I'm just giving you an example, yeah? And we know the player that Klopp buys is, I don't know, is 25 mil. I'm not trying to say it should always be you spend the exact same, but will you be able to kind of gauge it, so to speak, at least even just a little bit? Yes, you can find gems. You will be able to. But if we're like selling high and then like we're buying low, you could look at it as, yes, we're trying to take advantage of the situation, but we could also look at it and be like, the ambition is not really there anymore. Because really and truly, we kind of know majority of the time, I say majority of the time, you pay for what you get. There's a reason why Van Dijk costs 75. I know we had to add on 20 because of the Blackpool thing, but you know what I'm trying to say? There's a reason at this particular time, people were laughing at us when we paid, 36 mil for Salah. People were actually laughing, thinking, you man are paying 36 for this guy? Yeah, what, that Premier League reject? No, Salah was good enough. We knew what it was going to be. The same thing as Sadio Mane. I think it's just waiting till the summer, bro. I know I hate to say it, but it's going to be... It's going to be Monitor FC settings when we look at our shopping. Bruv, if we don't do any shopping and we are left underwhelmed, there's going to be loads and loads of questions.
No, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. And I feel like, see, this is the thing, yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong. Running a business on a debt in the general world is the worst case scenario, right? If you sell a product or something like that and you're running on a debt, it's the worst possible thing, right? Because the whole point is profit. When if you have like an actual product you're selling, for an example. But if you're running a sports franchise, running that club on a debt is an absolute minor if your club is worth a certain amount, because you've always got guaranteed income that will continue to pay that debt off, and that debt will never really bother you. Man, you have been in debt for 20 years, man. It's never bothered them once, bro, because their club is so highly valued and makes so much money. That debt will just get paid off. Now, I'm not saying I want the club to run in debt, but here's what annoys me about the way FSG run as well. We're one of the only clubs that aren't in debt, right? And that sounds great on paper, especially what we went through with Hicks and Gillette. You're like, rah, boy, it got techie. You know what I mean? We nearly went into administration. So on the face of things, it seems amazing that our club isn't in debt. But surely the only person that really helps is the owner, because no one else benefits from that. No one else, because facilities don't get built as quickly as they should. Players don't come in as regularly as they should. Like furloughing staff and bad mind things and all the things that our club does because we don't want to run in debt. So the only person that really benefits is the owner. So that's when I feel like everybody has a problem with FSG, because as the owners, FSG don't do what's right for us. They do what's right for them. Because I'm sorry, if you've got to go into 100 mil debt to buy Mbappe and pay that debt off over however many years, I don't give a fuck. Go in debt. I'm sorry, I don't care, bro. Go in debt, because Mbappe at the club takes the club to another level. No, I'm sorry. Because
I hear what you're saying.
Because this is what I'm saying. Running at a debt, the way the world is now, in a sports sense, is normal. I'm not saying run your club into so much debt the club crashes, you know.
Should I tell you the difference?
Saying, all right. Take a certain amount of debt out if necessary, like Arsenal did, like Tottenham did. How do you think Tottenham built a stadium and they're still going to buy players? They took out a loan, bro, to make sure the team doesn't dip while they're doing what they have to do off the field.
But
why are we going to be left behind so our owners can look good on the books, when really and truthfully, I don't give a fuck about the books, bro. I care about the pitch. I don't care if Liverpool are 100 million debt if we're winning. I don't care, bro. And the only way you're going to keep us winning is to buy players. Bro, and the wicked thing is, we've got 270 million before we even have to worry about loans and even going into that. We got so much money we've made.
I know.
is Mike Ashley not supposed to be the worst owner in the world? So how did Mike Ashley outspend FSG?
All I'm going to say is this, and this is what I think is kind of key. You see, when you talk about like maybe a club running their team in debt, yeah, the majority of those owners love their football club. I believe, and this is just my take, I believe we have an owner who like our football club. I don't think they love us. There's a difference.
Simple.
Because when you love something, you kind of do anything, so to speak. You know what I'm trying to say? In terms of from a business perspective, you kind of will go that extra mile to maybe do things where you're like, yeah, we're going to do that. And it might put us in a bit of red here, but all right, we'll work our way. I don't think FSG are like that because that's just how they've never worked like that. And in their minds, they're thinking, their profile and how they think and what they do has been successful in getting where they are. So they're thinking, so why should we have to change our model? Because we got one.
They've been in charge of our club for 12 years, bro, and we've only won the Premier League once. Like, has it really been successful the way they run things?
No, but to them, you have to remember, to them, they look at it as Liverpool hadn't won the Premier League for 30 years. Under their stewardship, under their ownership, we have now won that. We've also won another Champions League. It's about how, remember, it's about how they feel about it. It's about them.
No,
we don't agree with it.
Remember,
it's about them, innit?
I remember when we don't, because we don't even need to go into debt. But I'm giving you an example of things that the club aren't even willing to do, which is what worries me. Because I'm sorry, if the club had to go into debt to get Mbappe, or if the club had to go into debt to get Haaland,
know we'd all do it. We'd all do it.
Who cares?
People in the chat would do it. They would all do it.
Do you get what I'm saying? Who cares? Because at the end of the day, that debt will be repaid so quickly as soon as you start winning things. That debt will be played. If we bought Haaland, can you imagine how much more people would pay attention to Liverpool? All the shirt sales, all the things that would come of it. So you're almost getting something back for the money you're spending. So we're not talking about dumb debt, you know. We're not talking about
choir, though. We know.
We're not talking about taking out debt. Like, I'm not saying, right, you only earn 10 grand a year. Take a 20 grand loan out, and you know for a fact you can't repay that loan, you're going to get in trouble. I'm talking about a club that's worth £3 billion, yeah, or $4 billion or whatever it is, taking out a £7 million loan to buy a Haaland. Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Because you're thinking about the progression on the pitch more than you're thinking about your fucking bank balance. Because I'm sick of having owners that only care about being in the green and looking great on the books. That doesn't win you shit.
Bro,
and just because it has won in the past, that is not the norm. I'm talking about probability, not possibility. I don't care that it possibly could work. I'm saying it probably will work. Do you get what I'm saying? If I told you to jump out of an aeroplane wearing a parachute and I said the probability of this parachute opening is 89%, or I said, you know, it possibly might open at 20%. Bro, if I say possibly, you ain't jumping out of that aeroplane, bro. There's not a chance you're jumping out of that aeroplane.
Nah, brother, cool, bruv. Listen, we'll move on. But I know what you mean. You're preaching to the choir.
I'm probability over possibility, bro. Straight up, bro. So for me, we don't even need to go in debt because we've got so much money. But I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah. No,
we don't even have owners that would even take those risks, bro, to make sure we remain successful. Be like, you know what?
That's why there's a divide.
Shit, we've got to do this and we've got to do this. All right, cool. Let's just do that. Take this out, do that, and just make sure it's financed, blah, 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 boom, cool, do that then. All right, take that loan. Our club won't even do that. They don't care about nothing but balancing the books. So if that is happening, and then you've got a manager like Klopp who's also saying, yeah, I'm all right with the squad still. I don't want an unhappy player who might not play that often. So let's keep it how it is. And then we end up in all these situations where Tyler Morton is playing games away at Tottenham, starting the game away at Tottenham, then you got to ask yourself, rah, this is mad, bro. We got a manager that won't budge, and we got owners that won't budge. Are we stuck between a rock and a hard place here, bro?
We'll find out in the summer. Like I said, I think I understand everything that you said. I just think things might be a little bit clearer when we see our plans. And I know we always say next summer FC, because we literally are, but I think, again, expiring contracts, Klopp would obviously only have, 2 years left as well. It's going to be kind of peak to see what happens. So let's see what... No, in fact, he'll have a year left, sorry, because Klopp... Yeah, no, hold on. Klopp's contract runs out in 2024, innit? Yeah, a year after the...
Klopp will have two,
yeah, so let's see what happens. But Right, let me read out a few supers, and someone is about to join us as well. So, what is going on, bro?
Evening, guys.
Right, what's going on? What's going on? Right.
I didn't think I was going to see you today. Pleasant surprise, bro.
I know. Well, I'll be able to jump in quick still.
Oh yeah. We got a few more things to chop up.
Y'all been saying some stuff though. Y'all been saying some stuff.
Count the FSG boogie, man.
Yo, keep my name out your mouth, my brother. Y'all want these hands, man. Keep my name out your mouth, my brother. Y'all talking a lot nowadays. I see. All right. Okay.
Boy. All right, let me get through some of these supers. Hello, lad. FSG will get exposed when Klopp leaves. Big up yourself. He says, guys, thoughts on Fabio Carvalho from Fulham. Yes, we will talk about him, so don't worry, bro. But
did somebody say Coutinho replacement?
We'll talk about it. And let's not. We're going to talk about it, so don't worry, bro. We're going to speak about it very, very shortly. 975 Jamot says, fam, Bobby about to be 32 this year. Miles in the legs. He's getting on a bit. I didn't realize actually. 32.
Is that true? I thought he was 30 at the moment.
No, I think he's 31. I think the others are actually.
I thought he was only 1 year.
He's a year old.
Salah's still 29. I thought Bobby was only a year older than
and Mane's 30, innit?
Bobby's 30. His birthday's in October. I can't remember the date, but Bobby's 30.
So there you go. Nice.
So he's still relatively young then.
Yeah, but
I think Jamot still not even old. But
but Jamot was more talking about if I've got this correct, Jamot, he's more talking about the mileage when I was talking about, like the favoritism and running him into the ground. And I said, and maybe this is what Jamot's talking about. Firmino looks more tired than he actually should be, even at his age. I feel
he's done a lot of work. He's done a lot. Yeah,
he's put in a lot of work because we relied on him for so long until we got Jota. That was kind of like my argument. 975 Jamot said, I don't think Klopp wants to unsettle the team now. That's very true. He always does talking about the adaptation period. But again, bro, sometimes if a player is that good, if he's that good, do you know what I mean? So let's see what happens there. Jamot's going in with the supers, boy. Also, Klopp is the one who has to give out minutes. That's very true as well, Jamot. That is very, very true. Tyson's Klopp doesn't look like he's going to leave the club in a good state. For the next manager, will need a complete overhaul the way he's going. And again, is it Klopp's fault or the owner's fault? We'll have to wait. Yeah, next summer FC, innit? Well, I guess we'll find out. Zabiri says, Gifty, that's what I was trying to say when I would say Klopp out. I don't want it, but I'm willing to try one more good manager before I'm FSG out. We move. I hear the logic behind that. Elliot Purcell says Salah will get swapped for someone like Bowen, Matting. Oh, yeah. Elliot, I don't even want to think about that, but I can kind of see something like that, Clark, big up yourself, bro. Thank you for the super, my bro. John Conway, big up Matt and Drifty. I've been a channel member for 1 year and 4 months. Hey, big up yourself, John. Big up. It don't go unnoticed, John. Trust me. Hey, big up Lee Chappie as well. Go and subscribe to Lee Chappie if you haven't already. Man, like Chappie in the building. Trust me. Big up, lads. Ready for the Foxes. And Chappie also says we need more than luck. I tell you, boys. F me life. Rogers defensive disaster class. I say defensive crash. We know all about that, Chappie. Trust me. Yeah, we've been there, Chappie. Trust me. We know what he does have a bag of injuries at the moment, so I think it's a bit unfair to fully judge him. But yeah, it's can I just say something really quick? Don't want to go back into the whole FSG stuff. Yeah. Rogers kind of say what they're about though. When he kind of exposed that they weren't giving him control and things like that. Yeah, and the fact of funds and having to pick between players and things like that. You've seen others come out and say stuff as well. So, but one thing I will say, there was, and again, it's a report in it, so you can't even really take it as gospel. But there was a little change up apparently in the way how the committee works. So when Rodgers was on that committee, he didn't have final say, whereas Klopp apparently now has final say. So even though the groundwork still happens the same. You have like three, four guys. They bring their profile. Klopp says, "I want a striker." They bring the strikers. Klopp can say, "I want us to go for this guy." Whereas Brendan Rodgers was like, "I want this guy," and they might be like, "Nah." bruv, we're giving you Balotelli. That was the difference from what I've heard. From what I've heard. So
yeah, I don't think we'll know what's happening until Klopp leaves. To be honest, and we get another manager.
By the way, just because I saw a couple of people saying, football is a business, so you can't work it like that because run yourself into debt.
Drift, let me take this one, please, because this is it.
No, Bob, you can go after me, but they're coming to what I said. I don't know if you heard what I said, but I was saying
I'm going to destroy that right now, though. Go on.
Basically, though, Cal, I was saying the majority of clubs run on a debt because when your club is worth so much money, that debt is easy to sustain. And that debt is normally done because it's a way to keep up. So, for example, Arsenal took a loan out.
Definitely,
but they took that loan out because they wanted to go and buy the players they bought in the summer. Now, it's worked out for them. They've got a much better team now. They're playing much better football and they're climbing up the ladder. And they can pay that debt off because the club is worth X amount of billions and that debt will easily be paid off. Tottenham did the same to make sure they could buy players and rebuild their stadium. Big clubs can do this because the value of your club is so big, it's not that big of a deal to take small loans out. So my point was, if we got to take a £70 million loan out, which we don't need to, by the way, but I'm just saying this is how I feel about our owners. We need to take a £70 million loan out to get involved in the Haaland talk in the summer. Fucking do it, bro. I don't care if we're in the green and the books look fantastic. We're struggling on the pitch. And if you've got to go in the red for a season or two to bring in a player like Haaland, who will not only improve us on the pitch, will bring in more revenue through bringing fans who adore him, bring in merchandise sales and all the other stuff that will come with it. Who cares if we got to go into debt for a little while? That I feel like people love to say, yeah, but we're one of the only clubs that aren't running a debt. That only benefits the owners. Who gives a fuck if we're not running a debt? And I'm not saying run yourself into the ground and do what Hicks and Gillette did. As I said before, Matt, of course not. Of course you don't want to do that. But if it's just a small debt to get a player that improves us, it's worth doing it. So, guys, I'm not saying be stupid and just run yourself into the ground and go out of business. Of course, I'm not saying spend hundreds and billions of pounds and run up debt. No, I'm saying if you need a small loan to get something done that needs to be done in that moment, why would the ownership not feel that it was beneficial? Because they only care about their pocket. That's the point I'm making. Because I'm sure nobody here would have a problem with Liverpool having a £75 million debt put against the club if it meant Haaland joining in the summer.
Yeah, no,
who would give a shit? Nobody would care.
No
They'll be like, how long is it going to take to pay that debt off? A couple of years? Who cares? We've got Haaland banging in 30 goals a season for Liverpool now. Like, who cares if the books are in the green if we're not doing well on the pitch? Would you not want the best accountant trophy? You don't fucking win nothing for being in the green. Who cares?
This is our problem. We've been I think our fan base, and I don't want people to take this like I'm attacking you, but I feel like our fan base in particular, we focus too much of what's going on in terms of our club off the field. So when I say off the field, I'm talking about the accounts. I'm talking about but we're not in no debt though. Look at Man United and look at Chelsea. If Abramovich was to leave, then they would owe him money. It's like everyone's thinking of the worst case scenario. Even Man City. Yeah, and you know what's so mad? People were saying, Man City came and just bought the league just like Chelsea. Do you know what? No one really cares. City fans do not care. Ask Big Steve. He does not care. Big up Big Steve as well. He doesn't give a damn. He, in his mind, he's like, I'm a football fan. And yes, we might not have done it the perfect way, so to speak, like how it's written down in gospel. But you want to know something? They've made a statement and they are still making statements. No one cares about the money they spend, bro. You see the Grealish thing? Only Man City fans, are really that bothered about it because they're thinking, we spent 100 M's on Grealish, maybe we could have got someone else, right? But at the same time, do you know what they are going to do? They're going to go and get Alvarez, who's a striker. I think he's from River Plate. They'll go and get him. And not only that, they might even probably go and get someone else in the summer. Do you know what I'm saying? They will just do things to make sure they can win. And that's because I feel like their owners love Man City and they want to dominate. I feel like our owners don't want to dominate. I think what they want to do is make sure Liverpool are ran as a great business and have a great business model. And that business model means staying within the top four because that's where you get most of your sponsorships and your money. If Liverpool are always in the top four, FSG are not losing sleep. Us fans will lose sleep because we're the ones that have cared about this club before they got involved. And that's what you got to remember, people. As much as I'm not saying... Sorry, just let me quick land this quick. As much as people are FSG and you have a right to be, remember, FSG only started, liking us and supporting us since 2010. From when you were born, people, you've loved this club from before. So don't let them. So that's what I'm saying. Don't wear the blinkers for absolutely everything. That's one thing I will say.
Yeah, and so as I said,
and I rate FSG. I just think they could do better. Do better.
So like I said, I'm not saying run the team into some dirty debt. Of course I'm not. But I'm saying if I heard Haaland come out twerking and flirting with Liverpool the way, say, what's his name was 2 summers ago, Werner. Yeah, and it was like, hold on, what are you saying? Haaland wants the Liverpool move. And we just heard all this we can't afford it talk. There was no excuse why you couldn't just take a loan out to get that transfer done. No excuse. I'm sorry, there isn't. The club is valued at $4 billion. Do you think a £70 million loan is anything against the value of the club to get a player of that talent in? No, it's not. But that means you're not doing a business move that's good for the team. You're doing a business move that's good for your ownership. And if you keep doing things that's only for your ownership, the team is going to suffer. And we're seeing it right now. The value of our main players ain't worth shit because they've only got a year left. So even the model that they occupy means we're not even getting the value we should be getting for the players if you are even going to shot them on. You should be getting 200 million for Salah. But because his contract's run out, you could just about get 1 million now. So how does it even make sense if that is your model? You're losing half the fucking value of the asset for what? You're not, like, for me personally, I don't understand anything that's going on, even based upon the principles they're supposed to have. Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't get it. All our valuable assets, apart from Trent and Van Dijk, are now depreciating because their contracts are running down.
Again, do you know, I think it is just one last thing before we move on, because I need to read that Super Zen. We need to move on. But just quickly, in terms of what you just said there, the Salah thing for me is a club that's worried about how he will be in, say, 2 to 3 years' time. Whereas us fans, not saying we are the experts, so to speak, but we have a great understanding of how Mohamed Salah works and what he does. I think a lot of fans can sit here comfortably and say, within 2 years, Mohamed Salah will be exactly the same. Like, you won't see no change. You really won't see any change. You might see a bit of change in the 3rd and 4th year of his contract, but for the first 2 years, you won't see no change whatsoever. He'll still be just as quick. He'll still be just as decisive. And not only that, he's a top professional who takes his thing seriously. And again, FSG are watching the pennies. They are worried about looking across the road, looking at London and looking at your likes of an Aubameyang, so to speak, get paid a certain amount of money and they don't perform. But what they need to understand is this: he's different. He is different. Salah is cut from a different cloth, and I don't know whether they look at it like that, Jiff, because it looks like they look at each case as exactly the same in certain aspects. When really and truly you're supposed to look at something and go, nah, this is a bit different here. We need to make the exception because this guy right here is something that we won't be able to find in the transfer market for how many more years. So this is where we got to make that move. But they don't look like they want to do that.
You have to take risks. God forbid, I don't even really want to say a player's name because I don't even want anything bad to happen to anyone. But God forbid you signed Haaland and he broke his leg. What's the difference between performing badly or can't play? So what if he went and spunked 100 mil on Haaland and then he broke his leg? Do you get what I mean? Like, football's all about risk. If you're always thinking about the risk, you won't do anything. Let's be real, like, you won't do anything in football. You can't always be worried about the risk. So what if Salah's not as good in 2 years? We might win 2 Premier Leagues by then.
Agreed. I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying these are the things. Yeah, I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying these are the things that I think that they think about. Yeah,
and you're right. But what I'm saying is, if that's how they think, they've got to stop that. Because in sport, you can't do that. You can't do that, man. Like honestly, you cannot do that. When we signed Naby Keita, when we broke his leg the year he was still at Leipzig. Remember when we paid for him and said we'll have him next summer? When we broke, if you're not willing to take risks in football, nothing will ever get done.
No, I agree.
So, for me, I don't like the way things are moving, and nothing makes sense. We're sell to buy, but all of our assets that are worth money are depreciating. Nothing makes sense. Make any of this make sense to me, man.
Have I frozen on your guys' end?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Oh, am I back?
No,
Hold on.
Right. Frozen again.
Oh yeah, Cal, I know you wanted to debunk the thing, so go on, bro.
So the business thing, sick to death of hearing it, as you guys know.
I'm back.
if you've got a business and you have the financial capacity to buy assets to make your business thrive even more in the current climate, would you not do it? If you have assets, in this case, which are players who are depreciating at an accelerated rate, would you not either get rid of them before they continue to depreciate and then upgrade upon them using some of the money and then some other capital from the business before they become completely devoid of any value? So what are we doing here? So let me get this straight. I keep on hearing, oh, we're a business. If you're a business, don't you try and acquire what is best for business? So effectively, Haaland is on the market this summer. He's the best in his position that's attainable right now. But then I'm going to hear someone go, oh, about his salary and then his agent. Well, in business, if this is business, why are we speaking about it in an emotional standpoint? Why are we saying, right, yeah, we've got an owner we don't like, but agent we don't like, but surely if that's the case, if it's a business, you forget about the emotion, right? Because it's a business working relationship. We've all had jobs where we don't get on with people we work with, but surely you continue working with those people, don't you? Why? Because it's a business, right? So anyone who's then going to use the excuse of, oh, what about the wages? Look at the package of the deal. Okay, well, the package of the deal is stipulated by the market, which is, in this case, a business again. If you want to buy, for example, an iPhone, which many people have, an iPhone is more expensive than a Google Pixel, for example. But most people have an iPhone, right? Because why? It does the job that they want it to do for them. I don't hear anyone's moaning every year about, oh, the iPhone price has gone up, again this year. Why? Inflation happens. You pay for what is best. You don't go into a Lamborghini store and go in there with Ford Fiesta money, do you? It is what it is. You're not going to go to a Lamborghini store unless you've got Lamborghini money. So it's not a case of we can't afford his wages. We are opting not to do it, which again, if that's the way you want to do it, it's fair enough. But don't use this narrative and try and use the whole, this is a business argument, because if we're actually doing the whole business thing, then you're running the business incorrectly. All you're actually doing is making a self-sustainable model, which effectively means you can go and do whatever else you want, knowing that this asset, this portfolio project of yours is not going to give you any headache because it's not going to put you in any further debt. So there's a difference between being business savvy and being self-sustainable savvy. We are self-sustainable savvy where we do not want to go over what we make. And even then, sometimes there's no wiggle room, which again hurts us in our own way, because we're not able to do and operate as we want to as a football club. Do you know why? Because football is about winning trophies. And if we're going to really break down FSG's tenure, everyone say, we haven't won a Premier League trophy in 30 years, but, we won it under their stewardship. Well, for more than a third of those 30 years, they've been at the helm. For more than a third of 30 years, they've been at the helm. And in that period, they've won one Premier League and one Champions League, one Club Cup and one European Super Cup, which again, I will never, ever dispute. That's a fantastic achievement. But out of 12 years, Roman Abramovich wouldn't be happy with that. The Mansours wouldn't be happy with that. So why are we accepting of that? This is what I don't understand. Why, as we as a fan base, have we all of a sudden become accustomed to blaming Manchester City because they've got good players and good squad depth and got money, when we're not saying we have to compete with them on a financial standpoint, but we're saying, you know what, guys, in the summer just gone, we could actually take two players who don't cost £100 million each. They can maybe cost 25 or 30 mil each, but they'll give you squad depth, which will allow you to take on this juggernaut. You know why? We've got the equalizer. We've got Klopp, who is the best manager, in my opinion, and has shown it. So what are we doing here? Because I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
That's just
bro.
If you want your business to look good, you have to have a good product. People like Haaland is the product. So we got a product now, which is Salah, and it's looking like it might walk out the door. That's not good for business. And as someone said, Bowen to replace Salah. That's realistic if you think about the money we'll get for Salah. Because they're not going to go and replace Salah with Haaland.
No,
they'll probably have to put money on top to do that.
It will be Bowen. It will be Bowen.
It will be Bowen, bro.
It will be Bowen.
And then what?
We'll see what happens in the summer because I think the summer will say a lot.
I think it will as well. 975 Jamrot says United revenues can support their level of debt. That's kind of true, actually, to be fair. Mane Afiron says FSG and Klopp have us competing on all fronts. We just had 4 wins, 1 draw, scoring 12, conceding 2, but Mane, Salah, Naby, and Thiago's squad is adequate.
It's not.
It
was 2 games.
I'm not going to get into that one because, again, like if you think I don't even get into it. Mane Afiron.
No. If everybody stays fit, the squad is adequate. The problem is we have a bag of players in our team who struggle with their fitness. That's
I disagree. Sorry, Drift, I disagree because the squad's not adequate because, and again, no disrespect to him. If Trent gets injured, what happens?
I was going to say
No, that's what I've just said. So I'm saying our squad is adequate if everyone's fit, but the reality is that won't happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like if everybody stayed fit, our squad is adequate because the actual personnel themselves are good players. But the problem is a bag of our players get injured. Therefore, that's when we start struggling.
Do you know how I'm going to compare that? And again, I don't want to make you feel like I'm being disrespectful to your comment or your super chat, but that's like you saying Fabinho's a goal scoring midfielder because he's had a good goal scoring month.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess
he's not a goal scoring midfielder. He's just had a good month.
Yeah, agreed.
Our squad depth isn't enough. It's not enough. Our squad depth isn't enough.
I agreed. Mane Afiran says, always complaining about the ownership, but I'd like to ask outside City, PSG, and Chelsea, now Newcastle ownerships, who has a better or more successful model?
Leicester. Aston Villa. To name 2.
And what the problem is even though I kind of get where he's coming from in one sense, we're wasting the best manager by acting like we're those clubs. That's what the problem is. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't even mean this in a you will see kind of way because obviously we all want the success for Liverpool forever. But you see, when Klopp goes, if we don't make the right decision and who comes in afterwards, a lot of people are going to realize why we're moaning about the ownership now, because we're remembering everything that happened before Klopp, and we're not losing sight of the fact that Klopp's the only reason why this success has happened. Because if they did exactly what they've done, but there was another manager in charge, it probably wouldn't have worked out like this. Like if they never sat Brendan and Brendan didn't have been in charge of Liverpool for these last 5 years, chances are it wouldn't be how it is now. Do you get what I'm saying? Klopp is the equalizer. Klopp is actually allowing FSG to operate as a mid-level club,
people will throw the
and
argument
he's escalating us to an elite level club with his ability.
But people will throw the argument that it wasn't the FSG that hired Klopp. You know, they will use that argument.
But I'm not going for all that, man. He was the obvious
choice. They will use, though. I'm just letting you know that's the argument they will use.
That's like walking into a supermarket and you're thirsty and you pick up a drink. If you're thirsty, what else are you going to pick up?
But I'm just saying people will use that, and they have. People will use that, and they have done. I don't know. Also, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying people use that. Actually, no, I've just read that one out. Flint of Bad message. Johnny can't believe people want Klopp out before FSG. Klopp's the best thing to happen to our club in the past 30 years. Not FSG. League Cup before JK.
I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't seen anyone in the chat say they want Klopp out. But
no,
maybe
Zabiri said it, but I think Zabiri said it because he wants answers. He wants to see who's actually.
Yeah. No,
you don't want Klopp gone. You don't mean it like that. Zabiri's not saying Klopp out.
Let's be real. Let's say, for example, a new manager comes in and we start spending money every transfer window. Then Klopp's the one we've got to ask questions of.
Yeah. True.
But as I said, when you look back on history and you look at the fact of how many windows we've been left short before Klopp as well, there's a common denominator there.
We were buying the Asbazes and
we were
Luis Alberto's.
Brendan Rodgers' first window, he was left short. Remember, we went into him, we didn't get a striker.
Did we get Ali Sissoko on loan?
Yeah, no, that was his second summer.
Was that his second summer? Yeah. The first summer was
I'm not gonna lie.
Alberto one, isn't it?
Here's the thing, guys. Yeah, and again, we want to move on because this wasn't even supposed to be about FSG. But there's only one summer where we really did bits. And it cannot be a coincidence it was when Coutinho left. There's one summer in 12 years that FSG have done bits. it cannot only be coincidence. It was because we got all that Coutinho money.
It's not
because every other summer. Remember, we're talking about owners that said you got to sell your future captain to bring in Dempsey. Like, this is the type of ownership we're talking about here.
Now, that was more Rodgers, to be fair.
No, but the point was, that was the type of shit the ownership oversaw. Like, the ownership should have said, you keep Henderson and you can have Dempsey. Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, Dempsey, now, I think it was like 7 mil or something like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
these owners, they have only one summer where they've done bits, but Coutinho's money came in. So I'm just saying it cannot be a coincidence. And we always sit on this channel when we always say, Callum has said it millions of times. We're not saying go out and spend 500 million. We're not saying dumb things like that. We're just saying if there's a position that needs to be filled, can you spend the money that's needed to fill that position? Basuma ain't 100 million. Zakaria is not 100 million. Why can't we buy players that fill positions we need? Like, it's weird. And I've said to Matt earlier on, Cal, what if Klopp's actually looking at this? He's thinking Conor Bradley, Tyler Morton, and Kai Gordon are the players he wants to replace Salah, Trent. And he's like, owners, I'm going to play the kids.
He's not silly like that.
He can't be, bro.
We don't know, though.
We got an issue. But I don't think that's the case. It can't be, bro. Like, I know what you're trying to say, but surely. Because if that's the case, we got to have a massive, massive conversation about Jurgen Klopp, and it won't be pretty. If that's what he truly believes, but I don't think that's the case. It can't be. That's just like, yeah, I don't even want to think about it. Big up Ahmed, oi.
Big up Ahmed.
Big up yourself, bro. Realist on show on the airways. Big up yourself. Big up yourself.
You got a little surprise coming later.
You know what time it is. Ahmed, big up, bro. Enough love each and every time, my G. You know what time it is as well. You'll see. Mani Afiran again. Big up the channel. By the way, coming all the way from Bermuda. Rotted. Right, big up yourself, man. Big up. Enough love for that. Let me read through some of these super a bit faster. Tia Koreshi says FSG is only successful under Klopp. When he's gone, there's nothing. FSG do not love Liverpool. They only love profit and the money they get once sold. So that's from Tahir. We were just talking about that a minute ago. Nice 75 Jamal says drift. A lot you said regards the finances. We iffy. Regards to the
fair enough. Obviously, because Jamal's a financial expert, he's going to say that, and I'm not going to say that I'm a financial expert to argue with him. But I still feel like I have enough knowledge to understand that if something has to be done, it has to be done. If FSG want to sell their asset at the highest value, is players like Haaland and all that being in a club not going to make it more attractive to the buyer? Would you want to start selling a club with Bowen in it? Or do you want to sell a club with Salah in it? Like, does that not also add to the value in itself anyway? So, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Lord and Lady Walker says they shouldn't do loan for player budget like New Stand.
I mean, like, that's what Arsenal and Tottenham and other clubs do, yeah. Even if the loan is off them, real talk. Don't even take the loan from anyone else. Lend yourself the money or whatever the hell they do with the stadium. By Haaland, by loaning us the money, big man.
No, for real.
You know what I mean, bro? We saying J-Dub, but you don't want to see some Haaland in the team, bro. Borrow us the money, we'll give you it back.
They don't want that. They don't. They don't love us like that, fam. They like us. Right,
serious question. Do you think if you ask J-Dub to name our starting 11 from the best players, do you think J-Dub can name 11 Liverpool players?
I don't know.
If I'm being genuinely honest, I'm not sure. I know Mike Gordon could. I reckon no.
I wouldn't be surprised if they couldn't.
Yeah, I reckon Mike Gordon.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Tom Werner as well.
That's terrible.
Mike Gordon out of all of them because he's a bit more connected when it comes to the footballing side. I'm not sure about the owner though. If I'm being genuinely honest.
You know what? If I got 5 minutes with Jay Henry, that's probably a question I'd ask just to figure things out. I'd be like, quick question, J-Dub. Name 11 Liverpool players, first and second name.
We'll see them.
I wouldn't be surprised if man don't even know Salah's first name.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised myself. Yeah. 1975 Jamrock says, I think you should attack those fans, Matt. Seriously, I'm trying to remember what that was regarding, Jamrock. Genuinely can't remember. But...
Maybe the fans that were rushing Jota, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you might be right. LSC Aaron says, if your only business is in the summer with Salah's new contract, Diaz and Basuma would you be happy? I'll snap your hands off for that. So Salah new contract, Diaz and Basuma.
I would snap. At this point, Salah signs a new deal and we get Diaz and Basuma, I'll snap your hand off for that because that sounds like a dream at the moment.
Carl, would you say that? Would you snap?
No.
Would you not?
It would have been done last summer. Social Salah of contract. Like what?
No, but we're talking about
but Carl, we're talking about the way the ownership is moving.
We know how we move.
No, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be satisfied by that. If I'm hungry an hour ago and I could have eaten then, and I don't eat until an hour later, I'm not going to appreciate the food more, am I? I'm going to be like, I could have had this an hour ago. I'm even more hungry now. Why should we be forced to have these situations? Like, how are we operating a year behind if we plan so well? I don't get it.
That's a great point, Cal. We're so good at planning. Why are we always a year or two behind?
We're celebrating two things that should have happened last year.
I think the planning's a bit of a myth now. Let's be real. I think that's what it is. The planning's a bit of a myth. It's a bit of a myth.
That's two things that should have happened last year. We're celebrating because it happens now. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is kind of mad still. I can't lie. Ashley, big at yourself, bro. Hey, boys, my old account, Ash, on here got banned. I mentioned Divock in reverse and players having health issues got put into the basement with Nico. Sent the Pep interview to you as well, Matt. Prime Pep. Thank you, Ash. I've seen the
raw boy doing the Divock backwards got him banned. That's mad. Still.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. I did see the video. I'm gonna add that for Friday. And I didn't go says last week, January, no Salah news. I think he leaves, in my opinion. You guys, just quickly, yes or no, Salah leaves in the summer to both of you. Yes or no?
At this moment, I'm so in the middle, I'm scared, you know.
You got yes or a no, Drift. Is he leaving in the summer?
Yes.
Carl.
Heart says no.
Carl, I'm gonna ask you one more time.
I'm thinking
is he leaving? Yes or no?
No.
50-50. Interesting.
If this was a lie detector test, it'd be like that right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I'm gonna be real. As things stand, I think he's leaving. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but I think he could be. I think he's leaving. Royal, big at yourself, bro. We'll see you on the Friday night show. And that big at yourself, bro. He says, Carl, I had to turn my volume down when you started to talk about football not being a business. JW Henry is way too close to my ends. Big up, Royal. Big at yourself, bro. I know because he's based in Boston as well. Shh, I should have said that, but obviously people know that already. Ashley, big at yourself. He's a new member. Oi, big at yourself, Ash. Thank you for becoming a new member, my bro. Appreciate that. Enough love, man.
Yeah, big up as always, man. Big up to all the members as well, man.
Indeed. Ahmed gave up on FSG a long time ago. The sad part is there's not much we can do.
That is the sad part. There's nothing we can do.
Them man have got their feet up in our yard.
We could, but we're just not going to do it because of the love we have for the club. We could stop going to games. We could stop buying merchandise.
Yeah, we could affect them.
We love the club. Yeah. It's just
Agreed. Edward says, but if Villa have better owners, why did their net spend last summer show a profit? Why not spend all the Grealish money? Instead, they spent half on two players in Ings and Bailey.
All right, so Ed, can I jump this one?
No, they got Buendia as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Edward, here's the thing. Again, this is where I think it's being misconstrued. I'm not saying I want us to spend a bag of money. I just want us to sort out the squad. And I think if FSG were football lovers, they would see that. But because they're not, they don't. So again, when we sold Coutinho for 100 and odd million, I'm not saying you have to go and spend every penny of that. Guys, we did a member show, right? Remember we did the member show when we said theoretically if we had 270 mil to spend and all that, who would you spend on? None of us, well, Drift, you went a bit mad at the end, but none of us spent the full 270, did we?
Yeah, none of us.
We filled the gaps in the squad that we thought we could fill realistically. So again, it's not about profit and loss when who wins the net spend mark. I'll be real with you. If we could sell, let's say, and again, I'm just going to throw out a name because he's a player that many people think we can upgrade on. If we could sell Nico Williams for 100 million and bring in Max Aarons for 5 million, and we have a profit of 95 million, do you think I'm going to be like, oh, well, we've got another 95 mil. Why don't we see if we can get 2 other right backs? No, just fill the position and upgrade. If it costs more, it costs more. If it costs less, even better. It's not about net profit and all that for me. It's about getting the squad to where it needs to be. Tsimikas cost 13 million. None of us here wanted a Benjamin Mendy type of left back. None of us wanted a Cancelo price left back. We just wanted a left back who could come in and do a job. And we've got that for 13 mil. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. None of us here screaming. Yes, sometimes you've got to spend big on certain players, but not every single player. Like, I'd be happy with 20 mil for a right back. I don't think that's asking for much.
Yeah.
Fully hear you, bro. Fully hear you. Fully hear you. One Up says all us fans are asking for is to have adequate signings. However, a lower net spend than Huddersfield. Laugh out loud. That's what you're kind of alluding to, Cal. It's just about adequate signings. It's not about how much.
You got to deep that. I know some people think, net spend ain't a real thing or whatever, but for what it is in terms of money you've spent compared to money you've made, yeah, how the hell have we got a lower net spend than Huddersfield?
Monitor FC, fam. That's what we are. We are literally Monitor FC, bro. Mane Afiron says, so Leicester and Villa have a better model, hey? Would you rather their squads?
Look at where they're coming from.
Yeah, no one's saying that.
Just because we have a better squad doesn't mean we have better owners. I may have a better car than someone, doesn't mean I'm wealthier than someone, though. Yeah, I know so many people who have got flashy cars and all this, but I ain't got a pot to pee in otherwise. We all know people like that. No, on a serious
note. Yeah, it's true.
Doesn't mean you're rich. Doesn't mean you're better. Like, I don't get these arguments. With all due respect, I'm not even trying to be rude. I don't get these arguments. Like, if you look at Bill Gates walk down the street and you look at a man who just come into money, one of them's going to be wearing bare jewelry. Bill Gates is going to be wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Does that mean this guy runs his life better than Bill Gates? No. We've got a better squad because we're Liverpool. We've got Klopp. And we were able to sell Coutinho such a high fee that we were able to buy 2 or 3 players to subsidise that.
And we're meant to have a better squad as well. That's the point.
Yeah.
We're Liverpool. We're meant to have a better squad. The fact that those owners are at clubs that are smaller is hard to really ever gauge what is best. Do you get what I mean? Because you'll never know because it's not a fair playing field in terms of the size of the clubs. But what FSG are doing is they're conditioning everybody to think, well, City, PSG and Chelsea have got different type of money. Forget about those guys. Let's operate within the normal world. But then you look at it and you think to yourself, okay, well, Arsenal, for example, are in the normal world. If Arsenal was spending money to fill holes in their squad, even if it's taken them a long time to finally do it, it's like, right, even Arsenal's spending money now. Do you get what I mean? Even Tottenham is spending money now. You're looking at certain situations and you think, well, why are we the only ones that just don't spend any money? Because even if you're looking at the quality of players that are coming in, like Thiago and Jota, for example, we made quite a lot of money that year, right? Like Brewster went out, Ings went out. There was quite a few players that we finally got like our money for. And then not only that, you're like, wow, they're on like payment plans. So like it wasn't even a big outgoing in that year. Like I think we only spent 14 million in that actual year on Jota and Thiago. It was 9 mil up front for Jota and 5 mil up front for Thiago, I think it was. So bro, you're looking at it, you're like, so that even when we do bring in quality, the outgoing still ain't even high. So why don't we do that every year? Even if you've got to do that every year, why can't we do a Jota every year then? Yeah, and have a low outgoing, but it's still a quality player. Like, why we got these summers where I don't know. I don't know, man.
Messi FC says real issues need to be discussed. Top Reds are scared. I don't want to even categorize top reds and all that stuff. If someone disagrees, they disagree. I'm not even going to label anyone this or that. If they disagree, they disagree. I'd be more than happy to debate why they disagree. Taji says, blessings to the man named California. Kopish, big up to yourself, Taji.
California and that, you know.
Zabiri says, Ahmed said, a surprise was coming 2 hours ago. Who's delaying the surprise? That person needs to go in the basement still. We've been waiting a while.
You know, all right, that's timely. But, you know,
this is a surprise for me as well, by the way.
Okay. We're going to, the real surprise is going to be on Friday, possibly before that. But here we are. Like, actually, no, I'll wait till Matt's back. It's a teaser.
I'm back.
In honor of the very super chat, this is a teaser for what the surprise will be on Friday, people.
Katie, run it up.
Yeah, big shout out to Matt, Callum, Drifty, Big Kopish.
Right.
You said I'm on a song, yo. I'm on a song, yeah.
Yeah, that's on the song, you know.
We made it. I'm on a song,
Hey, you know.
Bigger Ahmed, man. Come on.
Sir, I gotta whet the appetite one more time.
Katie, run it up.
Yeah, big shout out to Matt, Callum, Drifty, Big Kopish.
Jeez. I kind of want to give them more, but you know, like you can't really.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Hannah, I do care about the club's finances. Your suggestion we become the next Barca splashing out on the superstar signings and the hell with the debt. Love you guys, but this is getting silly. All right, so Hannah.
Nah, I mean, that's aiming at what I was saying. No. Here's the thing, Hannah, yeah. Barca was stupid for years. Like, they were stupid for years. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying just do what's needed every now and again to make sure you keep up and you stay competitive. And a little something here, and again, I'm not saying doing it for no reason. I'm saying do it for real reason. So if we went into debt to buy like Gerard Bowen, for example, I'd be like, well, that was unnecessary. If we go into debt to make sure we can secure Haaland this summer, like a generational talent, I'm all for it. So there's loads of context that needs to be put into it. Do you get what I'm saying? As to where you do what and how you do what. But Barca have been running like that for years. That was terrible ownership, the way they were doing things. Do you know what I mean? So I hear where you're coming from, but that's totally different. That's running yourself stupidly. Going into a little bit of debt to secure an asset isn't stupid, because as Callum said earlier, if you've got assets that are valued way higher than even what your loan is, you're just doing what you need to do to make sure you stay competitive in the market. So, you know what I mean? There's differences. But I definitely don't want to be like Barca. Yeah, that's fact.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, Hannah. I don't want to be either. But again, I don't think we're asking for that. I don't think any of us are asking for a summer every summer where we go crazy. Like, again, I'll use last summer as an example. Man U bought Cristiano, Chelsea bought Lukaku, Man City bought Jack Grealish. I will keep on saying it. If we had bought Basuma and a £30 million winger, I wouldn't like that. For me, we've done what we needed to do. I don't care about what the others do, because we've seen how some of the others work out. It's never been about the big money. Big up, Saint.
Oh, yeah, big up, Saint. What's going on, bro? Massive Kopish running cyphers, you know.
If man's doing ciphers, man's got to get involved, innit? Man's got to get involved. So run the beat, and man will just drop a little 16, nothing long. I'm still saying, Ahmed, you could have shouted, man. Still, if you wanted me to bless the chorus or something, a little feature. But obviously, you do your thing, big man, because I know you can spit games still, man. Just know the landlord's about if you ever want something, innit? J.W. Henry is the reason there's a basement. Possibly.
Yeah, most likely. Sorry, apologies again. One.
The ice
The Ice Yeti says, if Arsenal sign Vlahovic, Mbappe goes Madrid, Haaland goes to City, and we sign Salah as our big signing, can we have a Kopish rant show? Yes.
Yes.
You'll get one whether you want to or not.
Yeah. Your wishes are command, mate.
Kadir says, when is Kopish going to buy LFC? I'll try and buy as many super chats as I can. Look, bro. I'm going to say it straight. I would be a terrible owner for Liverpool Football Club because I'm too close. I'm the opposite of FSG. They're not close enough. I'd be too close.
Yeah. That you might have a point there.
Oh, I'd be a terrible owner.
Yeah, you might have
a terrible owner. Way too emotional. What? Someone disrespects our club? You think I'm just going to be all right? I'd be a terrible owner. I would be. I'd be an absolute terrible owner. Terrible owner. I'm a fan. I'm a fan for a reason.
I'll start making rules like away fans have to stay in the stadium for 4 hours after the game ends for safety reasons, so no one wants to come to away games.
Yeah. I'd be awful. I'd be awful. I'd be doing crazy stuff like jerk Saturdays and all that. Like,
that would be.
But this is what I'm saying. Is it appropriate for the club? Is it going to help the brand? No, probably not. But it's my little plaything now, isn't it? So nah, it wouldn't happen. Shout out to Wayne for your super chat. Jamrock says, I can't hear anything but love, fellas. Was that regarding the song?
No. He must be talking about what our rebuttals to what he was saying about the finances, maybe.
Oh.
But yeah, just clarify that, Jamrock.
Cool. All right. Let's move on to the next topic then. Right, so transfer roundup. So a couple of players have been linked with us. So got to start with the young man himself, Fabio Carvalho. Again, know nothing about the young man. Never seen him play. All I've seen is a 2-minute clip that's been going around on Twitter. I'm reserving all judgment. Drift, I don't know if you see more or what, but I'm reserving all judgment because I genuinely haven't seen enough to know.
Yeah, do you know what? Carvalho, I didn't know too much about him until he was linked with Liverpool, I'll be honest. But then obviously I started to do my due diligence once I saw was linked with him, because apparently this link is quite close. And the only reason I took this link seriously is because he's a youth player, his contract runs out, and it's got Harvey Elliott written all over it. Yeah, and I feel sorry for Fulham because they're producing some absolute dons at that club, and then they're just going for free. From what I've seen from the research that I've done, I'd be worried about his temperament and him being able to cope with the pressure of, say, moving to Liverpool. But Harvey's done it brilliantly, so I'd hope he'd go down that same track. But in terms of playing style, bro, I'm not joking. He's Coutinho 2.0. And I'm not even exaggerating. I haven't seen him taking long-range shots and stuff. So obviously, I don't know if he's got that finishing element to his game. But in terms of his skills, his passing and his dribbling, bro, he is very Coutinho-esque. And I'm not even exaggerating, bro.
We don't play with a 10, though.
No, but he can play wing forward as well, bro. That's what I'm saying. He can play wide forward or he can play 10. Meaning, like, he's very Coutinho-like.
Is he pacey?
He looks like he's quicker than Coutinho, but I wouldn't say he's rapid. But he looks a little bit quicker than Coutinho, though. But, bro, he looks good, though. I'm not gonna. It's another project because he's very young, and it'll take a long time before I feel like he's fully ready to be that guy. But he looks good though, bro. And apparently he's free. His contract's up, and there'll be another tribunal type situation in it because he's so young. So you'd have to pay compensation like we paid for Harvey and all that kind of stuff. But nah, bro, he looks good though. I can't lie. I must be honest with you. It would excite me if we got him. But we're a few years away from me believing he would fully make an impact on the team, though. That's the only problem. But he looks good, though, bro. He does look like a talent. I can't lie.
People are saying he's homegrown as well. You know, I like a bit of a homegrown player.
Yeah, you do, bro. You do.
Fair enough. Look, everyone, I've not seen anyone say no, they're against it.
Is he 19? I heard he was 18. Is he 19? Okay, I heard he was 18. I mean, at 19, I still say he's a year or two away from fully being able to impact the squad. But then again, Harvey did it at the beginning of this season at 18, coming up 19. So you never know. It's just a lot of pressure on a kid that age. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of pressure on a kid that age.
I mean, I'd have to... I mean, I don't know enough about him to even judge or say. But as I said, a lot of people seem to be talking highly of him, so can't get mad at it, to be fair. Can't really get mad at it.
But it's a very FSG signing, because he could be a type of player who leave for 100 million a couple of seasons and you got him for free. So,
yeah, again, Drift, that doesn't bother me as long as we get out of him what we need. Like,
no, but I'm saying that's the only reason I'm feeling like it could possibly happen, because he's very FSG-like. It's very FSG-like. Young kid, all you've got to do is pay the tribunal fees, and he's talented and rare. Like, it's very FSG-like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Jude Bellingham. There was a tweet that came out from someone who's meant to be very reputable, who said Jude Bellingham's agreed terms with Liverpool for the summer. Without being disrespectful, that person who tweeted, we're not getting Jude.
No.
Like, there's no way. And again, there's no way Dortmund are selling Haaland and Jude in the same summer, which is not happening. Haaland, they're kind of powerless. Jude, they're not. And we saw what they do. If they dig their heels in, that is it. We saw it with Sancho. We've seen it over the years with other players. We saw it with Haaland last summer. They will not be selling two in one. And that would be crazy for them. Be absolutely crazy.
Nah, and plus we wouldn't spend the type of money it would be needed to get Bellingham in the first place. So
yeah, that'd be crazy. Crazy money. Next player, Tchouaméni. Shout out to Phil Banda. Tchouaméni, a Monaco centre midfielder. Obviously, loads of us want Zakaria. Maybe we want Zakaria because he's available on a free and we could potentially get him now for €7 million. Is he better than Tchouaméni? Potentially not. Tchouaméni's younger. You could imagine him playing in a double pivot with Fabinho potentially. I think Tchouaméni would be a good signing, but what again would be the worry is we're not the only club who needs reinforcements in midfield. And if you're looking at Manchester United, for example, who could blast out the water with regards to wages and opportunity, especially depending on the manager they get next, it would make it very hard to get this player. However, you want him, you go all out for him. So, again, another top player, another player that's highly touted. I know Grizz, for example, raves about him a lot. Shout out to Grizz. A few other Liverpool fans as well. So I get it. I don't know. I don't know if we can get him. And again, depends on the sort of money we've got lying around. Again, so Tiquan, this is what I was going to say. So people are saying to show me over Basuma. I think we need two centre midfielders. So for me, for me, you go and get both, in my opinion. You go and get Tchouaméni and you get Basuma. And then for me, then we're stacked in midfield and we don't really need anything else, in my opinion. So, but again, that's just my humble opinion. And then the last person on the list is Gerard Bowen, who we've mentioned a few times. Apparently, he has a price tag of £50 million. Now I'm going to ask, and this is for everyone in the comments, 50 million. If that is how much we had to pay to get Gerard Bowen, would you think that is good? Yes or no? Drift, what are you saying?
So this mutt's getting on my nerves in the background. Yeah, your mind, bro.
Say again.
We'd be out our mind.
All right, why?
50 M's.
All right, so I'm going to switch. Hold on, I'm going to switch it on you. When we signed Jota, he cost 45 mil. I'd argue Bowen has done more in the Prem than what, or shown more in the, hear me out, has shown more in the Prem than what Jota did at that stage for an extra 5 mil.
No, I disagree. I feel like Jota, see, for me, it's not just about what they've done. It's about what you think they could go on to do as well. And obviously, you know, I'm not chatting S because at the time you lot was like, for real, Jeff. And I was like, guys, I'm telling you, Jota's the one. Jota had a ceiling that was way above Wolves. And I knew coming to Liverpool, he could move up. I think Bowen is playing at his level now. And I don't think he could handle Liverpool. And there's no disrespect, because I think he's a good player.
No, bro. That's a
no, we don't know. And I could be wrong, but I'm making an educated kind of guess and whatever you want to call it, based on the football knowledge I've accumulated over the years. Owen to me looks like a player who took that step up, and West Ham was that step up, and he's playing brilliantly well at that step up. Liverpool's a step too high for Bowen for me. I don't think he would be able to do what we would need of him, because I don't think he's that type of player. So if you told me Bowen 20 mil and he's just going to come and be an understudy to Mo or something like that, I'll be like, all right, let's roll in it. But if you told me 50 mil and he's going to start for Liverpool, I'd be outraged, bro. I would actually be outraged. And we finally spend money and then it's on him. Nah, I'd be outraged.
All right, so just looking at Jota's stats. So Jota's stats, 18-19, 9 goals, 5 assists, 19-20, 7 goals, 1 assist. And then for us, I'm not going to... in his first season, he was hampered by injury, but he got 9 goals and no assists in the league. Bowen, 19-20 in the Premier League, 1 goal, 4 assists, but I think he joined in January. Last season, he got 8 goals, 5 assists. This season so far, he's on 6 goals and 7 assists.
Yeah, but again, he's at his level like a Jesse Lingard, for example, Cal. So Lingard clearly isn't good enough for Man United, but he balled out for West Ham, because sometimes there's a level you're at. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just feel like Jota clearly had what it took to be able to go to another level. Whereas for me, Bowen is at his level. And Bowen ain't coming to Liverpool and improving. We just get the Bowen that's at West Ham now. Is that good enough? I don't think so.
Potentially it could be, though, Drift, because we'll be playing around better players.
That doesn't always work, Cal. Look at Minamino. Not even to throw him under the bus, but he looked great at Salzburg and he doesn't look great at Liverpool.
He looked great in the 2 games we saw him play at Salzburg. He looked great in the 2 games we saw him play at Salzburg.
No, but he was good at Salzburg, even statistically. If you looked at his running stats and his contributions and all that, he looked better than he does at Liverpool.
But this is the Prem, though. We're seeing him in the Prem. Again, I'm not saying Bowen's my first choice, but I do think we use him as the beating stick because he's not fashionable. And again, don't get me wrong. Rafinha, he's not talking to Raf. Obviously not. In my opinion, he's not talking to Neto. But are those 2 players able to be acquired? If Bowen's a player we can acquire at 50 mil, yes, it sounds high, but to think that it's an extra 5 mil what we paid for Jota, and in my opinion, he's slightly ahead of what Jota was when we signed him, he'd be under Klopp. Could we not see a lift in what he can do? Drift's not having none of it.
I'm not having it, bro.
No, you're not sold.
I'm not having it. But you know, some people are saying, Drift, are you mad? 20 mil. And I get it. I know we wouldn't be able to get him for 20 mil. Premier League, English tax, and all those other things taken into consideration. Like, I understand that. But that's when you walk away. If I'm at a car boot sale and someone's trying to sell, like, I don't know, some kind of legendary old school 4 tops, 18-inch or whatever, and I'm like, I give you a tenner, he's like, nah, mate, that's a classic. I want 20. I just got to walk away. Like, if I try and haggle with him and he's like, no, I want 20, I just got to walk away, man. Try and find the songs I like on the internet. Like, it's like, so you can walk away. So I can understand why they're demanding 50. That doesn't mean we should pay 50. You see what I'm saying?
We have to pay 50 either. It could just be their starting of their negotiation. Because if he turns around and says to West Ham, with all due respect, thanks for what you've done for me, but I would like to take this move, then they're kind of...
I would be annoyed if we paid more than 25 mil for Bowen. Based on the ability that I think he has, what he could bring to Liverpool, what role he would play at Liverpool. And again, I've said this before, and this sounds like I'm being really harsh when I say this, but Bowen would mean I would know we're not going to buy anybody else. I'm not satisfied. Like if Matt said to me right now, yeah, get me something to eat, bro. This is the only opportunity I've got to eat. And I got him a packet of crisps and a banana. He would be like, bro, I told you this is the only opportunity I had to eat. And you only got me a packet of crisps and a banana. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Matt's expecting me to bring a full meal. And I just come with a packet of crisps and a banana. So I would feel like Bowen is a packet of crisps and a banana. Like, I need a meal.
Yeah, I hear that.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that. Gonna read out some of these supers. Kadir says, yeah, I forgot FSC. I best not catch on still. Oh, well, it was worth the super chat. Little Stevie's been working on some DIY this week, still getting him working.
We know, by the way, hold on. I absolutely did the exact opposite. And Matt is my witness. I was over the moon when we signed Sadio Mane. Oh,
yeah.
You could not bring me down off my high when we signed Sadio Mane.
You were fully gassed about Mane. I can attest to that. You was fully gassed.
Because that was a player I knew could go to the next level. Just like Joe, I was saying to Cal earlier, Matt, when you guys are like, you're this happy about Joe Drift. And I was like, guys, I'm telling you, he's got a high ceiling. It's not just about what he's done at Wolves. It's about he can go to the next level. It's what we see in Neto. It's what we see in Rafinha. It's what we see in all these guys that we want, where I'm like, I can tell you've got 2 or 3 levels to go up. You just need a club and a manager that's going to unlock them levels. Whereas with Bowen, for me, Bowen is at his level. And it's a good level. West Ham competing for Europa League is a very good level. He's not that next level, though. He's not Premier League winning level. Like Bowen ain't getting us 20 goals and 7 assists. Do you see where I'm coming from? He's not. I know it might sound like I'm being disrespectful. I'm trying not to be disrespectful. But Bowen is not getting us 20 goals and 7 assists.
I mean, he's already on 7 assists this season, Drift.
No, I mean for us in our team. Do you get what? Now, you know, sometimes you can be at your level, bro. Saying what you said about Lewis Duncan, you were bang on. When I said I wanted them Liverpool,
I hear what you're saying. Do
you get what I'm saying? Like, I think he's at his level. He's playing in a team that gets the best out of him in the system that works for him. Drift, I think if we signed Dunk, he'd look out of his depth. And I was like, Cal, you know what? You're probably right. The high line ain't going to work for him. Rare. Do you get what I mean? You know, sometimes you're just at your level, innit? And I don't think Bowen is Liverpool Premier League, Champions League winning level. I just don't. But
yeah, I hear that. Mine after run says League Cup final, second in the league and closing in. Perfect Champions League group stage, still in the FA Cup with injuries throughout. Adequate squad, I'd say. Mine after run, I still have to disagree, bro. I just have to because I don't think the squad is adequate.
Well, yeah, didn't he say that before, or was that the same?
No, this was he's added on to why he's justified.
Okay.
I have to disagree because I could argue and say our cup run was relatively easy up until Leicester. We had to use our first choice players to beat Leicester and Arsenal. That wasn't squad depth because we had to play our first team in that game in both legs as well. That doesn't to me suggest squad depth. Shrewsbury we beat last season, or is it this 1920 with our under 23 squad? So for me, that doesn't suggest squad depth. Jamrock says, "How is your Drifty take going so far this season?" I think it's been all right. To be fair, he's
Drifty. Scored. No, well, our team Kopish.
No, Drifty. How's your Daka take going this season? Jamrock, bro. I think he looks good. I think he's adapted quite well. I still stand by. He's not better than Origi.
I'm going to sound really harsh here, but I've not seen anything from Daka that really makes me go, yeah, we missed out on one.
Did it make you go, wow? Like, did it make you go, like, oh my gosh, like, we should have definitely got him?
That's what I'm saying. Do you guys agree with me or disagree that he's
I've not seen anything that suggests that he's done anything this season that makes me think we've really missed out on one here.
He's done well, though. Don't get me wrong, he's done well. He's got what, 9 or 10 goals. I think he's got quite a bit.
Yeah, but we're talking about like
how I've got to look at the type of goals. Like if I'm not mistaken,
Europa.
All the goals in the Prem have been tapping and stuff like. And again, I'm not taking anything away, but how is he playing for the rest of the game? Because as a fan base, we slate Jota for getting tap-ins and having a bad rest of the game in terms of his overall playing output. Would we have that same energy for Daka? So that's the only thing I'll say on that. Jamrock says, I was in a meeting, fellas. Sorry about that. No need to apologize, brother. Just happy to have you here. Actually, I think we need 3 centre midfielders, to be honest.
That's what I said.
Elaborate on that, Jamrock. I know Drift said that as well. Elaborate what we need.
I think on
DMCMAM for me.
Yeah. Zabiri says 50 mil sounds like English tax. I'll take him still. Yeah, it would be, to be fair. Vince says, I'd rather spend 50 mil on St. Max than Bowen. We ain't getting St. Max.
100%.
No, but we
ain't getting St. Max.
St. Max isn't worth 50 mil anymore. St. Max is worth whatever Newcastle say to shut people up. They could slap 200 mil on his head and say, who's gonna do it? They don't need the money. Jamrock says, I'd add another 10 mil and get Gravenberch for 60 mil. Well, Jamrock, I'm going to use one of your arguments against you. Are you going to deal with Mina Raiola then? Because that's who his agent is. Dinesh says, evening, gentlemen. Hope you're well. Good thing will happen first time in 2 years. We will have a full strength team to pick from after the winter break. That's only a good thing to happen in January. Facts. Looking forward to that. Bassett says, Neto has mashed up his knee. Won't happen. Damaged goods. He should be back after the winter break. I'll be watching him closely because I know I'll have to eat a lot of humble pie if he doesn't do well between now and the end of the season.
No. He's just coming back from the injury. That'll be harsh.
Yeah, I bigged him up a lot though. Let's be real. So I'd have to take it on the chin. Jam. Oh, we've already read that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Matt. What's the maximum you go for Bowen?
Bowen, if I'm being genuinely honest, because he's English, innit? They're gonna do the whole. I'm gonna be real, Carl. Like, there's players out there you can get for cheaper than Bowen. I think that probably do the same thing. Bowen ain't worth 50. He ain't. It's because he plays for West Ham and they're in the Prem. So he will cost you 50. He should be about 30. He should be about 30, bro. If I'd
be happy with 30.
Should be 30. Like 50 M's for Bowen, you know. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If we're playing,
I'd stretch to 40.
Because think about how much did Bowen ever better? I'm trying to think of Jota's trajectory, but then again,
he's slightly better goal to game ratio. Sorry, goal contribution ratio, slightly better.
Thing is, West Ham are better than what Bowen's done at West Ham. Obviously, you'd say that West Ham side was obviously a bit more competitive than the Jota Wolves team when he was there. Remember, some of Jota's stats come from Jota when he was in the Championship. Remember, when he had a breakout season.
I don't think I did the Championship stats. I think I just did one. Plus, I don't think Jota played as many games as Bowen either, or as many minutes, because, but again, Jota had to compete with Neto, Traore, Podence, Raul Jimenez, so Jota did have a lot of competition at Wolves as well.
Yeah, the thing is that I think I think Bowen is good. I just think that if we are literally going to spend 50 mil on Bowen, you gotta be like world class.
I'm questioning the whole structure, man.
You gotta be.
I'm questioning the whole structure, plan, and transfer committee at Liverpool if we pay £50 million for Joe Bowen. I'm sorry. Yes. And Bowen, if you ever see this, I'm trying not to be disrespectful, bro. Do your thing, innit? But for me, I would rather hear Liverpool, like ability-wise, I'd rather hear Liverpool paying 50 mil for Lanzini than Bowen.
Oh, no.
No, his ship is kind of...
No, he's injured a lot. I'm talking about ability. Yeah. Ability.
Lanzini all day.
Not ability.
Let me ask you this. I reckon we could get Rafinha for around 55. 60 max.
No.
Yeah?
No, bro.
If Leeds don't do well this season, you're telling me we can't get 50 in add-ons for Rafinha if he pushes for the move? No. You don't think so? If he pushes for the move and says, I want to go Liverpool, I think we could, bro.
No, because if the world here, he's only available for 50 mil, we're not going to be the only ones going.
No, but I'm saying when the players like they literally have picked their destination, that's up for the team to come and meet that price. Yeah, I reckon if he was to say, "Listen, I want to leave," but obviously behind, he's telling man, "Yeah, boom, I want to go Liverpool." They would have no choice but to accept to a degree.
I don't.
Yeah, but will he say that? By the way, a lot of people are sleeping on Lanzini. I see a lot of people are bugging over what I said. Ability-wise, Lanzini is a better footballer than Bowen. I'm sorry.
Not in my opinion.
Fair enough.
But that's mine and yours debate that will always go on until the end of time, innit? Like, We know says if you're making your own argument, Cal, then why do you keep talking about Haaland? I'm not saying I wouldn't deal with Mina. I'm saying others have said they wouldn't deal with Mina Raiola. So I'm saying if we're saying we want Gravenberch, are you now changing and saying you are going to deal with Mina Raiola because Gravenberch is one of his clients? So which is it? I would deal with Mina. To get Haaland, I'm going to deal with Raiola. You have no choice. If you want the best, you got to do some things that you might not want to do. Vince's viewpoint, at this rate, we will get to a point when Salah, Mane, Firmino, Hendo, VVD, and Fab get old. Then we'll have to spend 300 million or crash. This is coming. Well, it will be crash because we ain't going to spend 300 mil.
And Milan is actually a template to show you to not do that. Remember when Milan were a bad boy team and they just let all their players get old and then they just completely were just fucked afterwards.
Yeah. Promo says who's been a better signing, Nike or Minamino? I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to just say Minamino for an easy life.
Well, he has because Nike haven't given us any.
So what was the question? Sorry, what was the thing?
Who's been a better signing, Nike or Minamino?
Oh wow! That's
Minamino scored goals that got us into a cup final, so it's Minamino, man.
But the fact that people are putting him in that conversation, boy, says a lot.
Jamrock says Daka has 9 goals and 5. I'm guessing that's 5 assists in 1,053 minutes. Good. No, I'm not saying he's been rubbish. He hasn't been rubbish, but I'm just saying I don't think I've seen him and thought, wow, I can't believe we let him go Leicester. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he'd have really. He's not
better than Origi. I'm sorry, he's not.
I don't think he is personally, and I know I backtracked on that because I think I probably did say it at a point last season that I'd have taken Daka over Origi, but I'm backtracking if that is what I did say. So yeah.
Right, Jamrock saying he don't want Luis Diaz. Right, you don't like ballers, Jamrock, no?
I'm not that high on him. You guys know that. I think he's good. He wouldn't be my first choice either.
Who would be your first choice left winger?
Left winger?
Yeah. Because obviously Luis Diaz is that left winger conversation. So who would you go for?
Oh, that's a tough one, Matt. I actually don't know, Matt. Me being completely honest.
So I'm just trying to fit now, like left wing. Like I think Diaz is good. I think he's very, very good.
Gnabry. The only thing Gnabry picks up his fair share of injuries.
He does.
I don't know. I'll be real with you, Matt. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Like realistically, you'd probably go Neto. Realistically, like if he could like get back to form, so to speak, you'd want Neto in it. Like realistically,
yeah, Neto would be my first choice if he gets back to fitness and form because he can cover both sides.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think where does Luis Diaz fit into kind of like the tier list, like so to speak.
Well,
but it's
to me, if we were to get Luis Diaz, that to me automatically says Jota is our new number 9 now. We're not going to have 3 players competing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I would take that considering I know we're not going to go and buy an elite level striker. So I would take that.
I know people are saying Dembele as well, but again, Dembele is not trustworthy.
Dembele would frustrate us the way Navi does. So
yeah.
Although I take him if it's the only thing available.
Yeah, same. Right.
I think worse. He can't move.
FPL time, people. Right, now is that time in the show where we see who is leading the pack in the Kopish League. And would you believe it, people? Scenes, limbs everywhere. Scoop was dispossessed from top spot. Now Mark A has lost his spot and Marcus is leading now. Mark A is in second place. Scoop is down to fourth. AJ in third. Glamour Boys are now in fifth. Coppers, Canal Singh are in sixth. Nathi is now in seventh, moving up. Routon in eighth, moving down. Poundland FSG staying at ninth place. Up to 10th is Liam. Up to 11th is Gavin. David in 12th. FSG James Burrows in 13th. Michael Edwards himself is in 14th. And Arsenic. The Invincibles. I wonder if that's Guna Lee. Are in 15th.
Learning Lee.
So the news, though, the big news is Marcus is now top of the league and Mark A is in second place. Wow,
it's going on mad at the
top. Carly says, will there be PS5s? Will there be PPS this week? Even though there's no football, we hope so. Yeah, Prem Panel Show, we do believe so.
Yeah. Prem Panel Show will be running this week, 100%, guys, 100%.
Are you guys willing to spend 70 mil on Luis Diaz? I ain't. I'm not personally.
I hear where you're coming from in terms of the money, but I think the talent is worth it. I'm just worried that would mean we wouldn't buy another player for 8 years or whatever. So I get where you're coming from on that one, and I think we could probably get Diaz for about 55 in the end. I do.
Himanshu, big up Himanshu. It's been a while, bro. Hello, guys. Been AWOL for 2 months. Had some spasm problems in chest, stomach, muscles, and I built a new gaming PC finally. So just been gaming these days. Well, hopefully your health is better, but big up on sorting out the gaming situation and all that.
Big up, man. Chest problems is a serious thing, so big up, man.
Trust me. So yeah, the league is hotting up. Drift, anything you want to say to people before we take them out?
Yeah, just one thing quickly.
Katie, run it up.
Yeah, big shout out to Matt, Callum, Drifty, Big Kop-Ish.
Gee!
Hello.
Gee!
Hello. Hello. It's about to be a fun week, boy. It really is. Ahmad, you're an absolute goat, bro. I'm gonna start calling you Origi from now on, bro. I'm not calling you Ahmad anymore. I'm calling you Origi from now on. Matt, anything else you want to say for the people before we take them out?
Oh, I'm looking forward to Friday, man. The reveal of what should we say? Yeah, there's something that's gonna be played on Friday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that, man.
Just gave him a little.
I'll have a little snippet.
You guys caught up with UFC as well?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. What we saying? The baddest man on the planet's got a ground game now, Cal. Yeah.
Francis Nurmagomedov, bro.
Moving different, bro.
I'm not even gonna lie. Do you know what? Yeah.
Francis Usman.
I'll be honest with you. You see the development of Ngannou's game. It's made me have a respect that I didn't even know I had for Usman, because everything that's going on right now, I believe, is Usman. I believe that Usman is the one who's in the camp, who's showing the fundamentals, and who's doing it with him to make sure that he understands exactly what he needs to do. And I'm not even gonna lie, Usman's even more of a legend than he already was, because he's developed the baddest man in the planet's game to the point where I'm seeing man go for double legs, flipping man over, doing all kinds of things I didn't even know he was capable of, bro.
Shall I say one of the freakish things I saw in that fight? You see when Ngannou was trying to literally snap his ankle.
Yeah.
Bro, Francis was not bothered. I was like, hold on a minute, bro. It looked like to me his ankle was about to snap, bro. And I didn't even see him flinch or nothing. He was just...
No, I didn't have the technique right.
Bro,
He didn't, but considering that might have been the leg that had the MCL tear,
bro, like, the way how the ankle,
we don't know what knee it was because he wore both to be smart.
Bro, the technique might not have been great, but bro, the ankle.
If he caught him in a technique even a little bit, it would have tapped in no time.
Bro, the way how Ngannou just made it seem like man just like he scratched him.
Yeah, shall I tell you what is leg locks are so hard to actually get in the UFC because you can actually punch in jiu-jitsu competitions. Leg locks are a go-to for a lot of fighters or jiu-jitsu practitioners because you're not punching, but with leg locks you can punch someone in the face while they're grabbing your legs.
Yeah,
it's very hard to pull it off in MMA. But no.
But remember, Garn is actually good at it. I think he's done it twice in MMA already, though.
Garn's good at submissions, though, ain't he?
He's done it once. The other one was a head and arm choke.
Okay, yeah. Still,
look, Garn's a G. Garn's a G.
I think eventually he will be world champion. Like eventually, he need. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, when I saw the knee braces on Ngannou, I genuinely was thinking, he's been heavily compromised. You know, I'm not gonna lie, and obviously Garn's movement, like being so light on his feet, I thought Ngannou might struggle. You know, it's like, bro, this guy said. It don't matter what he throws at me. It's calm.
It was the gas tank for me. I was most impressed with the gas tank.
When he got the first takedown where he just lifted him and did
when he broke man's back.
Giant. Bro. I was like, okay, this is different. This is different.
All they need to do now is they need to improve his actual ground and pound. If he can move from the level he's at now and then develop ground and pound, no one's even going to want to get in the ring.
He was tired. It's just that Garn was more tired.
He was tired. But after the first round, his mouth was wide open. After the first round, but then he.
I thought his gas tank was impressive, to be honest.
No. Francis fights like that with his mouth open. He said he's always done it in his life. That's not an indicator, but you can. When you're on top of someone, if you can't throw strikes, you know you're tired, innit? Because he weren't going for submissions or anything. He was just controlling him, throwing the odd punch. He was tired. It's just that he wore out Garn even more.
Yeah.
But I rate it, man. Jamrock says the guy I wanted knees exploded in Syria. That's a Chiesa. That's a shout, actually. Yeah.
Oh my
Chiesa would be the one for me as well.
Yeah, ACL, isn't it?
Yeah,
ACL, man.
Chiesa's the one for me as well.
Another ACL.
All right. Not sure when we're going to be back. We will be back before Thursday. Just not sure if it'll be tomorrow or Wednesday. So make sure you keep an eye on social. But we will be back before Thursday. Obviously, we've got Prem Panel Show, got Rival Watch. No previews because there's no games. Have some member stuff as well. So make sure you keep an eye out on the socials for that. Yeah, Matt Drift, once again, anything you want to say before we take the people out?
Can you run it up?
Yeah, big shout out to Matt, Callum, Drifty, Big Kopish.
Wee. Vince's Viewpoint says RIP to Thierry Mugler, extraordinary fashion designer. I don't really know of him, to be honest. I know his name's on the Alien perfume for women because I bought that for my missus a couple of times, but I don't know who he is apart from that. Alex George says U3 versus Ngannou, Izzy, Usman, and Khabib for 5 mil each. I want to get to spend it.
Never.
And you know what? I'm definitely fighting Izzy out of all of them because he just knocked me out. I don't want Usman.
I'm sorry, if you're putting in the ring with those, you've got to quadruple that minimum.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not getting in there with Usman or Habib who just beat you to a pulp. You're alive, but you're still just getting beaten up. Forget that.
I'm gonna be real. I need generational wealth from doing that.
Facts, because you're about to change.
Yeah, I need to be seeing my quadruple great grandkids looking up in the trees and being like, oh yeah, granddad Callum did that by getting smashed about by them 4 fires that time. Carly said we need Drift to feature in the Big Six show one time. Not gonna lie, you've been on in it, Drift.
You've been on it before.
Yeah. I've been on it twice still, but you know, there's been a few times in Turkish has needed me to be on, but I've been busy at the time as well. Don't go around, man. Hopefully, I'll be on there, man. I love that show. Big Six is the one. I love that show.
Same, man.
No, big up Turkish, man.
Big up Turkish and the boys. Like, yes, people. Until we're back next time, keep an eye on the socials. Subscribe if you're new. Smash the like button. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we are out, people. Take care.
Peace.